629, 629, 999. Good morning. Oh, I'm early. I'm a minute early. Boy. Well, that doesn't usually happen. But good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Yes, Thursday. I hope everyone's well. Welcome to Wake and Bake with Lolo. I'm Lolo. It's time to wake. It's time to bake. Do all the things. It's time to do all the things. And yeah, good morning. Oh my gosh, we made it. Well, we almost made it. I mean, that's what people say, right? Hi, good morning, Kevin. I'm really glad to see you. How are you, Kevin? Kevin, Kevin, I see Kevin. La 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 la. When we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. How are you, Kevin? I hope you're well. Hope you're good. You done sending resumes this morning? Fuck yeah, you're done. Okay, you're done. You put it out there. You put it out there. Oh, thank you, babe. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, yeah, no, he's totally asleep. I appreciate you doing that though, very much. Very much. I will make sure I follow up with him and see what's what. Oh, good. Kevin, hang in there, baby. Hey, if you are Kevin, if you want to, it's up to you. But if you send me your resume on email, I'm happy to help like juice it up if you want to. If you feel like you need it, you don't have to. But I'm really good at that kind of stuff because I was working in corporate for a really long time. So yeah, it doesn't hurt to look at all. And so if you want, just my email is on my, I think it's on my YouTube page, like about page or whatever. And you can totally, I'm really good at that and I can turn it around really fast. So I would be happy to reformat that for you and send you both the PDF and like a Word file or something. Yeah. So just send that to me and I'm happy to do it. And of course, it'll be completely private. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. Yeah. Let me try and help a little bit. I don't know. You never know. Sometimes it helps if someone looks. I used to have people look at my resume all the time because, like, am I, anybody doing anything? Anybody want to do anything with me? Thank you, babe. Sorry to give you one more thing to do. That's bullshit, but hopefully, I don't know. Who knows? Neil, I just saw you on my other device a second ago. Oh my god, Neil's all over. Good morning, Neil. No, that wasn't me. Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I am fine. Um, it does look as if Bobo might be going overseas for her work. So we're dealing with that in this household, which we're very excited about. Good morning. Good morning, Haggard. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Tom, good to see you. Kevin, Neil. Yeah. Well, I can't say where she's going, but it's overseas and it's probably for a few months. Yeah. So we're trying to figure that out. I mean, it's going to be fine. This happens. This happens in her industry. It does happen. She goes other places and works on stuff. Right now she's working on a TV show, so it's not a movie. She did work on a movie, but they wrapped. That's done. Now they're focusing on their TV show. Same team, which is nice. Yeah, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I'm excited for her. She's relatively excited. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's a lot to like. Yeah, it's a lot. So that's fine. It is very exciting. Yeah, Loki is running around with a shoe. Oh my goodness, Loki. What did I miss? Hi, Lee. I was just saying, yeah, she has her passport and all that. Yeah, it looks like Bobo's going to be going overseas to work on the TV show that she's been working on for a few years now, actually. And they're gonna, yeah, I can't say exactly where she's going, but maybe later after it's all said and done. But yeah, she's going overseas for until like December or January. And we're like, okay. Actually, it's going to be so much better for her schedule because right now she's doing days that start like before I do, and then she goes way into the night. Yeah, it is awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's great, and she's really lucky to have to be in the position that she's in. When is that we don't know. We don't exactly know. It's probably in the next few weeks, like 2 or 3. So, who will be my wing person at the next? Well, I'm going to be on my own. I'm just going to be on my. I hadn't even thought of that, Neil. I didn't even think of that. What? What's happening? Yeah, no, it's exciting. Yeah, the showbiz days are really long. It is the least glamorous industry I've ever seen. After she's been in the industry now almost 10 years. Oh my God. She's coming up next. Well, actually, she's at 8 years now. She's been in the business 8 years. So yeah, I will. I'll definitely buddy up. Oh yeah, they eat really well. I will say that. I will say that. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna be living on my own for a little minute. That's okay. I'm so excited for her. I really am. I'm so excited. She's excited, but it's just logistics, right? Like the part that's not exciting is all the logistics of what has to happen before you basically move overseas for about 4 or 5 months. I never got to go overseas, but I saw the USA in your industries. That's really cool. I know, me and the fur babies. That's right. Boy, we're gonna have just a menagerie. Oh, my head's warm. Yeah, I'm excited for her. She's doing really good. She's such a good. The shoe has been recovered. She's so good at what she does, and she's very diligent. I'm really proud of her. Actually, I'm incredibly proud of how she's grown into her her career and how much she cares about what she puts out. Like product wise. So yeah, the concert tours. That's right, Tom. You were a roadie, right? Were you a roadie, or were you? Did you do something different, like specifically within that? Because I didn't know. I loathe the term. My fur babies, my little fur babies. Well, they are babies, and they scratched me in the face. Did you see the scratch that I got from my fur baby yesterday? I'm now scarred. My baby has scarred me. We have a ton of stuff this morning, and not the least of which is the Ingracia hearing, but I can't find where the fuck the Ingracia hearing is. Now, what I do have right now, and I'm not exactly terribly excited about it, but I think we should listen to a little bit of it, is Mike Flynn. Mike Flynn is alive, for lack of a better term. Mike Flynn, who is the head of the PTA at West Point. Yes, that's right. The job that they gave Mike Flynn. Oh no, it wasn't director of national intelligence. Although maybe if Tulsi screws up, they might put him in that. Or maybe they might make him put him in the FBI or something. I don't know. I don't really know what they do. Um oh, stage crew also lighting sometimes spot when the headliners didn't bring someone. Oh, wow. That's cool. South Park episode about Trump. I haven't seen it. Have you? I haven't seen it either, but I saw some allusion to it Something alluded to it. Do you know? Do you know if it? Well, my God, Max. Emil Bovey was nominated, was confirmed. Or I guess maybe he hasn't been confirmed yet. Um, I mean, look at all the people they have confirmed. I mean, that's what I think. PTA psyop traitor a hole. Yeah, exactly. But he's doing a bang up job as head of the PTA at West Point. So I'm not sure they want to switch him out just yet. But anyway, he's speaking at this think tank this morning. And I was of course curious about it because that's who I am. I'm a curious lady. I'm a curious girl. He is tiny. Tiny dick. He's a tiny dick. He's a little tiny dick. Yes, there's a meeting in Florida today for Ghislaine. Uh, is that the meeting with the Justice Department? Or wasn't there someone else that was going to meet with her? God damn it. I'm so like, I listened to a lot of Epstein stuff last night, actually, which is kind of interesting. Um, but yeah. I don't know if he's confirmable, but I just feel like everything is yeah, DOJ. Okay, thanks, Tom. Yeah, I feel like everything is everywhere all at once. Like it doesn't really matter. But I am looking for the Paul Ingrassia Senate hearing on him because he's also a criminal. So we should probably talk about him too. There's so many criminals. I don't know what to do. I just want to hear what bitch kitten here is saying for a minute, and then we'll probably leave it because it's probably going to be really awful.
But I do think that in this day and age, with the ability to communicate, we have an extraordinary ability to communicate these days and to understand various cultures. Okay, and we had 50 different countries represented last night, and we'll have over the course of
Todd
the day
Blanche.
the same thing. That's
Todd
50
White
different
guy.
cultures, right? I mean, everybody's slightly different, but when you sit and you talk to somebody, it's like, yeah, we got to figure this out, right? I'm not about selling anything. What I'm about is building things. Right?
Okay.
And this is really, really important. And I know that, I'm one person with a great team of people that we do have.
Has he made a point
we have
yet?
A great, wonderful team, and you'll hear from some of them today, that are essentially on the same ticket, the same train, trying to figure out how to influence not just
thank you, Tom.
the United States of America and the government of the United States of America, but also trying to, do our part in this time of human history to say, how can we get out of this cycle of madness?
What are you talking
very,
about?
Very chaotic. Very chaotic.
What's chaotic?
Very complex. Complexity is another norm in human life, in human history.
It's a national security conference.
I could go on and on
or
here,
National Security Strategy Conference, but it's a think tank. I don't know which think tank it is.
To understand a couple of things for today.
Why the hell don't they mention what the think tank is?
Last night with the stream that we...
Oh my God, you guys. It's the Gold Institute. I wish Gal was here. Wait, hold on. Let me just find something. Now I know. The Gold Institute for International Strategy. Oh man, I know Gal had some shit on this. God damn it. Oh, I know. 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 Oh shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Go back. Sorry, let me just check and see if I can. You can't search in people's tweets anymore? What? Why can't you search in people's tweets? Oh, here we go. You can't. Okay, well, I'm just gonna pull the first thing I saw come up. It's this. Okay, this is from well, she started in 2021, but 2022, Gal says, I'm very serious when I say that the Gold Institute and the London Center for Policy Research need to be shut down. Good morning, Jay. So this is the Gold Institute for International Strategy. Gold Institute, Secretary of State Pompeo, discussing Middle East issues and U.S. strategic options. Oh, so the Gold Institute had some stuff to do with Pompeo and his decisions. I will link this tweet in the in the uh, in the description. But yeah, that's what the Gold Institute is. It's an institute of mass destruction. Yes, look who we're watching, Jay. Look who we're watching.
That I asked to watch. I asked
Pam Bondi was supposed to wait.
Afar. We probably had about 250,000.
She had a torn
people
cornea.
That were watching last night. Over the course of today, we will have probably.
This is somewhat live. We're a few minutes behind, but it's live.
Pop in on the live stream. That's what you're seeing behind me here, right? I think.
Flim flam.
Yeah. So I'm up there. That's what they're seeing, and that's what they're hearing very clearly, because this mic is tied into a feed, because this facility allows it, and we are doing that. So I know that those nations that are going to be speaking today.
We're not going to stay here very
like
long, but
I'm not speaking for,
I just want to hear what he's
President
saying.
Trump. I speak for myself, but I speak for a lot of Americans. I definitely speak for a lot of Americans. And if there's one thing that I have learned in life, especially with the experiences that I've had.
You're the PTA head. Come on.
Around the world.
Give me a break.
I've learned a lot about the different cultures, and I've studied the.
He's learned a lot about different cultures, Jay.
That's my thing, and I have deep.
I know
deep
the heat. Oh no!
But I will also challenge those to operate in a world
Tom, be
where
careful.
cultures have to mix and blend, right? And
he is stupid, Karen.
We don't want to be overly antagonistic to each other. What we really want to do is kind of figure it out. Right?
Flim flam. We call him flim flam.
God, I could spend all day talking to you about the history.
Could you just say something? I don't even know what you're saying,
World War II alone.
This is a Wendy's. What are you saying?
There's a great book called The Day of Infamy, and that's part of it is we, the United States of America. And this is where I'm definitely I'm speaking for myself. We have to take responsibility for some of the mistakes that we have made. Right, that we have made, and there are many. There are many.
Oh.
And so I think if we are able to understand that and own up to it, but it doesn't. For some of you,
I mean, it's hi, Grace Lisa. It's Mike Flynn.
It's difficult in some.
Mike Flynn is speaking at a security conference right now, and we've been listening to him for at least like a few minutes, and he literally has not said one thing. He hasn't said one actual cohesive thought. I don't even know what he's talking about. So I'm hoping that he gets to the point.
Cultures to take responsibility. It's actually difficult in our culture to take responsibility. That's what your mother teaches you, right?
Oh my
you do
God.
something wrong at
You're
home,
so boring.
Everybody, I'm Boone Cutler. I'll be one of the moderators for today. Welcome to the importance of strategic partnerships. That's what we're here about today, about building strategic.
Hey, that's Boone Cutler. That's Boone Cutler. Yeah, it's Circle Talk, exactly. Please donate. It's Boone. Boone is his partner. Boone is one of Mike Flynn's little pets. And Boone Cutler helped him write his books, Fifth Generation Warfare, how to take over the PTA. Right? Like, how to do that. My favorite Boone Cutler story is that time that he was posting in Twitter and I was posting under him. And I said, get your copy now of Boone Cutler's Guide to Building Your Own Rendition Studio in Your Basement. Little Johnny will never leave his bike in the on your driveway again. Anyway, just a little rendition joke.
Partnerships, a global security and diplomacy conference. The first person up today, I'd like to introduce the president of the Gold Institute for International Strategy, Ellie M. Gold. He is a seasoned foreign policy strategist, bridging
Is that what
practical
he is, Jay?
political leadership, scholarly analysis, and bipartisan diplomacy. As president of the Gold
Boone's
Institute,
wearing
he
a
unites
suit.
global leaders and policy-making bodies to craft strategic solutions on defense, alliances,
Gal
and
said PC
democratic
principal
resilience.
on South Park
Ellie.
is Boone, and I died. Look, his beard's gotten longer.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, I'm actually not going to make you watch this because nobody should have to watch this propaganda, but I wanted to check in and see what was happening, but clearly nothing is happening. Mike Flynn, again, doesn't know what the fuck is going on and is so incredibly boring. I can't believe it. I'm looking for the Ingracia Senate hearing this morning. I have not been able to find it at all. So I do have a few clips for us to watch while we wait. We should probably do that now. Oh, yeah, we've only got 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this first one that I clipped. It's from yesterday. It's from last night. And it's about the Epstein. You know, we're going to stay topical here for a minute and deal with the Epstein stuff. But this is from last night's The Beat, I guess, or Ari Melber, but it's not Ari. So, hi, Easily. How are you, darling? So let's see what we have about this. This is when that time I heard I was in the Epstein files. That's what I call this segment.
Appearing in the Epstein files. Today, explosive new reporting rocking the political world.
Wow.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the Justice Department told Trump in May that his name is in the Epstein files. It comes as Trump, who previously helped stoke Epstein conspiracy theories, suddenly tries to tamp down questions about that guy. The Journal reports, quote, when Justice Department officials reviewed what Attorney General Pam Bondi called a truckload of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein earlier this year, they discovered that Donald Trump's name appeared multiple times, according to senior administration officials. In May, Bondi and her deputy informed the president at a meeting in the White House that his name was in the Epstein files, the officials said. Many other high-profile figures were also named, Trump was told. Being mentioned in the files, in the records, isn't a sign of wrongdoing. It's new context for Bondi's claims about potentially revealing documents, including the ever-elusive client list. Here's what she said in February and March,
wandered into the room when the cameras were
reportedly
rolling.
informing Trump
He didn't know
his
what
name was in the
happening.
files.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now. A lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information, but it's pretty sick what that man did.
We will get everything.
He was just
we will
delivering a
have it
pizza.
in our possession. America get the full Epstein files.
That's what Bondi was saying before the DOJ released a memo in July that poured cold water all over talk of a client list and theories about Epstein's death. That memo caused an uproar and led to Trump getting hammered with questions, including a direct question about what Bondi told him.
Hi, Carrie. Good morning, darling.
The Attorney General briefed you on the DOJ and FBI review,
Hey,
the findings of that review. The Attorney General briefed you on that.
What?
On the DOJ and FBI review.
On what subject?
Epstein, on Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Very quick briefing.
Hey, Josh.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the files?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing.
The Journal reports the DOJ told Trump in May, quote, it didn't plan to release any more documents related to Epstein because other material contained child pornography and victims' personal information. Trump reportedly didn't object. Now the White House is calling the Journal's report, quote, another fake news story. The Journal also reporting, quote, FBI Director Kash Patel has privately told other government officials that Trump's name appeared in the files, according to people close to the administration. It builds on the Journal's recent report.
Oops.
President
is getting ready. Sorry. You know what that means? Crash Patel? Oh, I just realized. They want to make Cash the patsy. They want to make Cash the patsy. Did you see that? Someone just threw him under the bus. I don't know if the bus is going to hit him, but he's under there.
Reporting about that strange and quote,
Cash, you
bawdy
better watch
birthday
your
message
back.
Trump
Everybody's
allegedly
gunning for
wrote to
ya.
Epstein. Trump is, of course, suing over that reporting. It
James,
bears
she's not.
repeating. The big news tonight: the President of the United States' name reportedly appearing multiple times in documents related to convicted child predator Jeffrey Epstein. So ahead this hour, I'll talk live.
PBD is the Pretty Big Dicks podcast. It's that guy, Bet David. What's his name? Bet David. I can't remember his name. Bet David. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. He's too much of a loose cannon. You thought it was Bongholio. Bingo Bongo, as Pepper would call him. Dan Bingo Bongo, which is what I'm going to call him from now on. You definitely would imagine that Bingo Bongo would go. That would have been my call. But no. Somebody threw Cash under the bus. Will it hit him? I don't know. I hope so. I hope it hits all of them.
With Reverend Al Sharpton and Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen. But
I mean, they do have
we
a
are
few
going to
Expendables.
start with Emily Bazelon, legal writer with the New York Times Magazine, and Catherine Christian, NBC News and MSNBC legal analyst and former assistant district attorney with the Manhattan DA's office. Thank you both for being here with me this evening. So we understand that his name being in these files does not necessarily mean that a crime has been committed here. And I think for some, this may not even be surprising because we've known that he's in flight logs. We know that Epstein reportedly had multiple phone numbers for Donald Trump and for other members of the family. But what's sort of striking to me is that he was just asked a week ago by a reporter, did Bondi tell you this? What did you know? And it appears he may have lied.
Well,
Catherine, how
he
significant
said
is all this to
That's
you?
not, I don't
He
know if
lied
that
or
was
he
indirect
forgot.
answer. I've got to be
It's
fair.
significant. Well, first, again, just because your name appears in the file, that does not mean you've committed a criminal activity. But we would need to know the context. I'm sure there were search warrants executed during this investigation. So did they get the flight logs, guest lists? Did his name appear on a guest list? Is his name on other birthday cards? The Wall
Did
Street
he
Journal
walk
said he
in
was
with a pizza
given a birthday
at the wrong moment?
He left a birthday message for Mr. Epstein
And end up on
so
camera?
It'll be interesting to see
Patrick
how
Bet-David.
his
That's
name
his name,
appears
Butterflies.
multiple
Thank you
times.
so much. Patrick
On what
Bet-David.
documents do they appear?
That's his name.
And many of those
PBD,
documents may
Patrick
not
Bet-David.
have been
Yeah, yeah,
grand
yeah.
jury
It's the guy with the
secret
the lockers
documents that
behind
would have been
him.
obtained to subpoena.
Sorry, it's the thing with the guy with the lockers behind him. You know, he looks like he's sitting in a gym locker room. You know that one, Max?
It could have been a witness interview, which certainly is not going to be confidential unless there were like a victim's name there. So it'd be interesting to know how President Trump's name is in these files.
Emily, what questions has all this raised for you and the timeline here? I mean, this is sort of a problem of their own creation. They're the ones that released a memo saying nothing to see here, folks, only weeks ago. So how shocked are you by this latest development, this new reporting from the Wall Street Journal?
Well, I agree with Catherine. It's not that surprising in the sense that we know that Epstein and Trump were friends. They spent time together, including, it seems, in the period of time that the indictment covers. Another question I have is whether the fact that Trump's name is in these documents, and we don't know how, or the context, relates to the Justice Department's decision not to.
Okay, I have to interrupt this because I think this is the confirmation hearing I was looking for. Oh boy, I hope it is. Hold on. We'll come back to this. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't cry. Don't cry about tomorrow. Let me see where we're at here. Who is this? Planky? Wow, they really started early. Let me just see what's going on with this. Because, wait. Oh, these aren't the ones. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Hold on. Oh boy. Everything was going so well. Coddle. Did he drop out? Does anybody know? Did Ingracia drop out? Oh wait, here we go. Here we go.
Panels. So
Sorry.
there's just a few of the examples.
Okay, this is unfortunately, I don't know if this website is necessarily legitimate, but this is supposed to be the Ingracia. And this is a special counsel. This is what Ingracia is up for. Hi, Meowing Star. Those are bank safety deposit boxes. Oh, I thought it was a locker room. And mausoleum plaques. All right, let's see what we've got over here. Oh, are you not going to let me fucking go back? Fuck you.
One example of patients to manage their inventories and to bring that service
I'm
to Floridians
sorry.
in need.
Well,
Let me
thank
try
you
and
so
find a
much,
better
and we
one.
look forward to continuing your great service
Shut
to
up,
the United
Ashley.
States of America.
Shut up, Ashley.
A lot of leaders coming out of the great free state of Florida, and
Shut
we're
up,
proud
Ashley.
of you, sir. I'd like to also turn my attention now to Ed O'Connell. Welcome. You are nominated to serve on the Superior Court of the District of Columbia. As a former judge myself for over a decade, I know what goes into serving in a trial court. Criminal matters, civil matters, family law matters, probate matters. Very important to this country and to the jurisdiction you will be serving specifically is efficiency in court. The delay sometimes denies justice to the litigants that come before it. What is your approach to maintaining efficiency within a court as a judge?
Thank you, Senator.
How do you organize your work?
The Superior Court of the District of Columbia is extraordinarily overburdened. There aren't enough judges on that court to move the caseload as it needs to be moved. So I view my role as a new judge on that court as one of the most important things I would have to do is manage a caseload expeditiously without sacrificing thoroughness to any thoroughness with regard to any one individual case.
Okay.
I think the unique training that I've had is it enables me to succeed at that role, and that training was being an assistant United States attorney in the Superior Court system for almost 20 years.
I think it's a men's
Part of
locker
my
room.
job as an AUSA was to efficiently manage an extraordinarily high caseload without sacrificing
any help.
the individualized attention due to any particular case.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Peters.
Oh, you don't want to know it, Jane.
Hey, Mr.
It's
Chairman.
annoying.
Mr. Fox, you wrote in your opening statement that you will be, quote, independent, impartial, and fair, end of quote, which, as we discussed in my office, is a core responsibility of the job of independent counsel. And yet you accepted a senior advisor position in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence from Director Gabbard after you knew that she had put your name forward for the role of Inspector General. And you are also now acting chief of the Information Management Office at ODNI. So my question for you, sir, is how can we or the employees of the intelligence community trust that you will indeed be independent, impartial, and fair when you chose to work in the very office that you were nominated to oversee?
Thank you for the question, Senator, and
Good one,
thank you
Meowing
again
Star.
for taking the time to meet with me. I
TBD.
appreciate our conversation. Being truthful and being independent are my top priorities.
Oh,
as
really?
The Inspector
Are
General
they?
have confirmed.
Oh, you don't. I
And
don't trust
was
you
chosen
just because
for
your voice.
The role of senior advisor and ultimately for the role of Inspector
And that
General,
hair.
I believe.
You look like
because
a
of my
bad
reputation
Ken
for
doll.
doing so. And I only took this role
Like the
as senior
midge
advisor,
equivalent
which
of a Ken doll.
in reality is just a title. My duties have been to perform as acting chief of the Information Management Office, which is overseeing the release of records to the public for FOIA requests, Privacy Act.
Oh, how are you doing
we
with
have a number
that?
of other groups, and I'm dedicated to transparency and rebuilding public
Oh,
trust.
are you? Then why won't you comply with some of the FOIA
One thing I'd like
requests
to
that have been
add is,
made? What?
Since day one, the entire leadership team has understood the importance
Whoa.
of that independence,
flipping.
and for that purpose, I've been properly insulated from any personnel decisions or any significant organizational
C-SPAN.
decisions.
I can go to C-SPAN.
To the extent that if I'm in a meeting and one of these topics arises, I will literally leave the room, and they've
Literally.
respected that and
Watch
supported that
me.
effort.
Well, you know,
I will
you
go
shared with
poop.
me the same information in my office, which I appreciated, but it still, I believe, raises serious questions about some judgment as to why you would take that position, given your background. As Senator Marino
this
highlighted
live.
with
They don't have
his
this live.
question.
Is this live? 10:03. Live stream offline. Okay. All right, hold on. Damn it. I hate YouTube so much. Sorry.
Mr. Planky, I'm pleased with the answer that you gave
I don't know what just
to
happened.
my colleague. It was very thorough. I think it was pretty clear you fully support the reauthorization of that legislation as to how critical it is. And I understand Secretary Noem also fully supports the reauthorization of that as well. We are heading towards the deadline here at the end of September, so we have to take action before that time, Mr. Chairman. I know you and I have spoken about this on numerous occasions, and I look forward to working with you in the weeks ahead as we
Did he drop out?
at this deadline and trying to get legislation passed to make sure that those authorities are continuing to be there. So thank you for your support. And if confirmed, I would hope to deliver a bill that allows you to continue to work with all of the partners necessary to provide cybersecurity in this country. Mr. Fox, I'm very concerned about Signalgate, both the sharing of classified information on commercial messaging app and the implication that those records.
Sorry. Let me try this again. I've got the PBS and not the janky.
Understand Secretary Noem also fully supports the reauthorization of that as well. We are heading to, you reiterated that nothing classified was shared because the Defense Secretary, who is the original classification authority of the information, has confirmed that the messages were not classified. And yet, just yesterday, after you and I met, the Washington Post reported that the information Secretary Hegseth shared came from an email marked secret. You know exactly what that means. Secret is classified information that should not be shared with foreign allies. So my question for you, will it be your stance as IG, if confirmed, that the Secretary can simply retroactively say that operational battle plans involving men and women in uniform are not classified and thus try to avoid the consequences of sharing them in an unclassified manner?
Thank you for the question, Senator. With my IMO role, when we review information for classification, a part of that involves a line-by-line review. So if a document is marked secret no foreign, for example, it's likely that there are portions within that document that may be unclassified entirely. I can't speak to this because I'm not aware of the facts and circumstances. I'd also like to add that national defense information and DoD information would be originating from DoD, and thus DoD would be the appropriate entity to make any determination for that. That being said, to answer your question, as ICIG have confirmed, nobody is above the law, and I'm committed to conducting every single activity of the Inspector General's office in an impartial manner without fear or favor.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Scott.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, first, I thank all of you for being here. Congratulations on your nominations. Our country faces numerous threats, and the work you are nominated to do is essential to supporting President Trump's mission of protecting American lives and infrastructure against the threats of Communist China, Russia, and more. Under both the Obama and Biden presidencies, we saw our intelligence community and other agencies weakened and weaponized against its own citizens, putting Americans at risk. We've seen policies put in place that undermine the agency's credibility and attempt to enforce security at the expense of hardworking Americans.
Rick Scott.
Thankfully, we have President Trump back in office. He and his administration take the threat that Xi Jinping and others pose to our country very seriously. And he knows too well the experience of intelligence agencies being weaponized for political purposes, with no one being held accountable. So let me ask Mr. Fox the first question. We've known for years that both the Obama and Biden administrations weaponized every element of the federal government against President Trump, including the intelligence community. Just last week, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard released over 100 declassified documents that she said provided overwhelming evidence of a treasonous and conspiracy by senior Obama officials administration officials to undermine President Trump's 2016 election.
South Park. What is
If confirmed, how would you prioritize reviewing the actions of our intelligence agencies during the 2016 transition, and how would you ensure your office's full independence when investigating current and former senior government officials?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I share the priorities of this administration and the Director of Rebuilding Public Trust, and there's a lot involved in that effort. If confirmed as IG, then I will take every action as appropriate to properly investigate or conduct audits and inspections as needed, aligned with the national intelligence priorities as best we can, and of course, consistent with congressionally directed actions.
Based on the evidence Ms. Gabbard put out, what reforms or safeguards would you advocate to prevent any future political weaponization of the intelligence community?
Well, that's a complex answer, Senator, and I appreciate it. Step one would be a zero-based review, if confirmed, to understand the roles and responsibilities within the office and make sure we have the right people in the right position with the right tools and the right intent. The ICIG is a cross-cutting office, so it does have the authority to oversee all 18 IC elements. And I would work with the ICIG Forum to ensure that we're working together as appropriate and ensuring that the watchers are conducting their oversight in each element of the IC appropriately and fully.
Thank you. My next question is for Mr. Allende and Mr. Planky. In May, U.S. energy officials found secret communication equipment inside Chinese-made devices like power inverters, which are used throughout the U.S. and the world to connect solar panels and wind turbines to electricity grids, and are also found in batteries, heat pumps, and electric vehicle chargers. The Biden administration recklessly rescinded Trump's first-term executive order that banned Chinese procurement or involvement in the U.S. power grid. I know this administration has restored that EO, and I previously filed a bill to codify that. Does the Chinese Communist Party have a kill switch embedded in our power grid through our use of Chinese renewable energy infrastructure like solar panels and Chinese batteries, and how we combat this and make sure we are not procuring CCC-made energy infrastructure? Mr. Yend, if you want to go first.
Thank you. Senator, thank you for your question. At present, I am not in the Department of Homeland Security. I don't currently have any insights into that matter. If confirmed, however, I look forward to studying that very deeply with the experts at the Directorate of Science and Technology. I can tell you that based on public reports, that is a concern that we have had in Florida, and we have taken action. We have started some work with Idaho National Laboratory to assess battery technology, which will include the inverters and solar panels. We previously conducted an OT security assessment of Florida's locks and levees, and the Florida legislature in the 2023 session banned the use of Chinese drones, which our department effectuated regulations to ban those. Those were ultimately sent to the University of South Florida for testing.
Supposed to be this hearing
for those very issues that you are describing. I'm just not aware of the results of those tests.
Senator, thank you for your question. I share the concern of you and my colleague, and we worked together in the original Trump 45 administration on this very issue. We are both concerned. I am concerned, and if confirmed, that it will be a priority of mine to remove all Chinese intrusions, exploitations, or infestation into the American supply chain.
Segment of Vinny losing
yes, Senator, and I
overdump.
look forward to
Vinny's
working with you on
hilarious.
that.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Senator Hassan.
Well, I thank you, Mr. Chair, and Ranking Member Peters for holding this important hearing, and I thank all of the nominees for your willingness to serve, and congratulations to you and your families, and I thank your families for their support as well. I'm going to start with a simple question, and we'll go right down the line from Mr. Allende to Mr. O'Connell. If you're directed by the president to take an action that would violate the law, would you follow the president's directive or follow the law? Mr. Allende.
Senator, thank you for your question. If confirmed, I find it very unlikely that the president or anyone acting on his behalf would ever instruct me to break the law.
Strap in, sweetheart.
I don't believe that would ever happen.
But if it did?
Why are you blinking so much?
As unlikely as that would be, I would consult with the Office of General Counsel as to the interpretation of the law. And if persists,
we'll show it.
If for some reason I disagreed with the interpretation, I would resign.
So are you committed to following the law or not?
Senator, if
Forget
Oh
for
my
the minute
God.
who instructs you to follow the law or whether there's a difference of opinion. Are you committed to following the law or not?
I am, Senator, and I think
Thank you. That's a yes, Mr. Planky.
Thank you, Senator.
Yes.
I share my colleague's process that I don't believe the president would ever ask me to
Oh,
violate the
my
law,
God.
but I do believe in upholding the rule of law. Yes, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Fox.
Senator, in my professional capacity now, and if confirmed as ICIG, I will always follow the law.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connell.
Thank you,
And
Senator.
Dollar Store Ken.
As a judge on the D.C. Superior Court, my only job would be to follow the law, and I couldn't anticipate any circumstance
Right. Could you?
where
Well, guess
anyone,
what,
the President of the
O'Connell?
United
You're
States
about
or
to
anybody
face
else
it.
would try to influence me to do anything other than follow the law.
Well, I appreciate your commitment to following the law. I will say to those of you
Yeah,
who
the laws,
have
they're
just said
changing
out
as we
loud
speak.
that you do not believe or expect the President of the United States to instruct you to break the law, that reflects a disconnection from reality that concerns me.
Yeah.
I know you may have to say those things to satisfy the
Exactly.
President or the people who are watching this hearing on his behalf, but it is an extraordinary statement given events. Now, Mr. Planky, as you know, CISA helps state and local governments improve their cybersecurity and protect critical assets. One of the key programs that supports this goal is the State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program. This program provides grants to state and local governments to bolster their cybersecurity and better protect Americans from hostile actors and cyber criminals. Unfortunately, this program runs out of money in
Yeah,
September.
Trump's laws.
So my
That's right.
question
Hi,
to you,
Teresa.
Mr. Planky, is do you support
morning. I
continued
just saw you
funding for
come
the
in.
state and
Hello.
local cybersecurity grant program? And what would the impact
slow mode?
be
Yeah,
should
I get
Congress
you.
fail to fund it?
Me too.
Senator, thank you for that question. Absolutely
you for the
support state
question.
and local grant program for cybersecurity.
Oh, really?
I think there's many rural areas of America, and CISA exists to support all Americans across the United
These guys are
States. And
boring.
one of the best ways to do that is through the state and local grant program.
Well, I appreciate that. It's not, in a state like New Hampshire, 234 cities and towns.
Okay, sorry. This is boring me. I'm so sorry. It's going to be one of those days. I actually have a lot for us to little bits of us for us to watch, but all right. So just to give you a flavor of PBD, this is the podcast of hysterical men. This is the podcast of hysterical men. That's what I'm going to call it PHM. I'm going to call it PHM, which is the podcast of hysterical men. Men who are hysterical.
Similarities here. I'm not sure if you intentionally put these stories together because
This
I
is
actually
the
think there's a lot
PBD.
of
This is the
synergy in what's happening here. Do you remember in 2016
Patrick Bet David
what was
bodca-
happening?
bo-
They're having
broadcast,
these meetings,
podcast.
Russia, it's Russiagate. Stand by on the next episode of Russiagate. We were all glued to our TV, and admittedly, I fell for it. I'm like, this guy is a Putin puppet. The media said it. It must be true. Turns out the media will lie. We all
Tonight,
understand
the
that.
Steele dossier, this
Exactly.
reporter has seen.
So Trump was out
They're
there.
really
It's fake
trying.
news. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. Everyone's like, okay, Donald, sure, buddy, Putin puppet. Turns out,
Really? Everybody said that?
Donald Trump was telling the absolute truth and nothing but the truth. But the media ran with it. Russia did try to interfere in the election. True. Trump campaign conspired with Russia. False.
No.
Paul
but
Manafort.
okay.
Remember we had Paul Manafort on the podcast?
Yeah.
This was in the height of Adams, like, lunacy. I was like, this.
They had Manafort on the podcast. The man who, as Max Flower pointed out, is literally the guy who conspired with Russians to give them polling data. I mean, patriarchal biased dominionist. Yeah, that's actually what it's called.
Paul Manafort. I'm going to expose. He came on here. I was like, what a guy. Nice
What a guy.
Yeah. Lobbyist. And that was like sort
Lobbyist.
of the snowball effect. I was like, you know what?
Oh, but they got the wiki
Maybe
page.
the media lied to me about this Russia thing.
They did more than that. Leslie Stahl had air cover from the White House, where she said, Donald, this is 60 Minutes.
Okay, Leslie Stahl. Yeah. She's the
As
one
though
who
she
here's
was
Vinny. He's
speaking
gonna
like
get
a
excited.
judge on
as
the
if she
federal
has the higher
district
ground media story.
But Adam, but
Here's
don't you?
Vinny.
And I'm being truth, but you're my brother. I love you to death. I want to know.
I hate you.
Don't you want accountability? Meaning,
course,
Adam,
Vinny, we all do.
No,
Yes.
Adam, I disagree. Not a lot of these people. No, they don't. Because Barack was this savior, the yes we can, the BS artist. Okay,
Hope.
What they did. People want to talk about January 6th. To hell with January 6th. These people were like, he won. Let's create this fake story. So Hillary, go pay for this fake dossier and push it to the Department of Justice. And
Except for the Republicans bought it first, but that's okay.
To defy the will of the people, Adam. So when I say accountability, and I get what Sean Hannity was saying.
Well, we didn't defy the will of the people, did we?
Be patient. We've been patient from before JFK. Go to those people. You know what they told those people too? Be patient. Cut to 2025, Adam. Cut to 2025. They're still like, here are 10 more documents that don't say shit.
We're still waiting.
And
We're still
again,
waiting on
it's
JFK.
Adam. And I'll start with the Russia thing. How much shit did me, Adam, dude, my career, my friend, I've lost friends because they're like, you're with the Russia asset.
Carla, hey, have y'all tried Coke, steroids, and Viagra together? Get me another Red Bull.
Putin, blah, 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 blah. So
Yeah, Neil,
zero
don't worry.
accountability
You're
for
not
that.
gonna have to see
and when
him
it comes
again.
to Epstein, not one famous, high-ranking pedophile scumbag is going to be dragged in front of the courts so we could see them. I want to see them. Why the hell was he going to the White House 17 times to see Bill Clinton? Explain that to me.
Why does he have a girl's
What are they
gamer
talking
chair?
about?
That's what
And
I
when
want
you
to
walk
know.
into his house,
Let me ask
That's
you,
a
what
girl's
do you think
gamer
they
chair.
were talking about?
Adam, he flew to his, he was on the airport.
But go there for a second.
Money-
The Epstein
None of the
Clinton thing.
Steele
What do you
documents
think
were
actually
dropped
Me
happened?
before they
personally,
elected. I
probably
know.
some money moving
They just
stuff,
have to make
probably
up
some,
shit.
Because, dude, by the way, if you saw the interview with Daryl Cooper with Tucker, say what you want about Epstein. He was very good at being a piece of you-know-what. Moving money, offshore accounts, probably some money stuff with the Clinton Foundation, which I think he was attached. And then, Adam, maybe some girl
That's
stuff.
what money managers do.
But you ready for this? Adam, I believe Vincent O'Shannessy believes that it was some, hey, listen, when you come to the island this time, I got you. I know how you like them and blah, blah. When you walk into his apartment in Manhattan, why is there a picture of him in a blue dress pointing right when you walk in?
Do you think
that means I got you,
Is there any
homie.
evidence that Jeffrey Epstein donated to the Clinton campaign?
Is there? I think there's a connection with him, with either Lex Wexner and him. Whatever it is.
Well, I'm saying that a lot of
yeah.
times these big donors, what do they call them,
not
mega
that
donors, get prepreferential treatment.
Rob, if you could just look up
Bundlers.
what's their connection, what's Epstein's connection to
What do
Bill
you call
Clinton
them?
and the foundation?
Tom, what do you call it?
But because at the end of the
large bundlers.
I'm
They
just
call them
making fun of him.
And bundlers are
his
what again?
chairs are not girls'
Bundlers are
gamer
people
chairs.
that know a lot of people who know a lot of
them.
people. So
Because
I
it would
work
bother
with
them.
5 high-end people that each of them is taking money from, say, 10 millionaires. And so now that's 50 people represented by those 10 and then represented by me. So you create a paper trail that is hard to.
Okay, that's enough of that. You got the point. You got the point. That is the PBD. That's the Pretty Big Dick podcast. Here we go. This is just a segment. Hold on, because I don't have the full episode, but this is a segment of South Park. Hopefully they don't fuck me over in this one.
Okay. Mr. President, sir, the Prime Minister of Canada is here to see you.
Mr. President, why are you placing these new tariffs on Canada? What are you, some kind of dictator from the Middle East?
I'll do it right now.
What? Hey, relax. Come on, Satan. I've been working hard all day.
You haven't been working, you've been doing your stupid memes and just fucking around.
Come here again. Ah, come on, Satan. You know you can't resist this.
I can't even see anything, it's so small.
Oh, really? Jen Taub just got taken down for South Park? Uh-oh.
Ah, come on, Satan. Don't be like that.
Okay, that's it. Hold on. Hey. All right. Sorry, I can't even help myself. Okay. Well, all right. If they're not going to show us the Ingrassia, I'm just
Private sector business.
Oh God, you guys are so boring. Why are you so boring? All right. Oh yeah, that's one. Wait, this one. Okay, this is what I wanted to play. Sorry. And then I have some stuff to read, so don't worry. Can't wait to watch. I know. I want to watch it now. I want to watch it. Satan should have the power to turn into Ivanka. Oh my God. I know. I have never been able to watch South Park because the voices are practically unintelligible. Oh my God. That makes me laugh. Okay, here we go. This is a little bit of a segment just on the Epstein stuff. Sorry I'm jumping around this morning. I really thought the Ingracia thing would be happening, but I don't know what's happened to him.
Ready to give a major address on AI. Details of the AI action plan will be released today at a summit in Washington.
Oh yeah, this is the AI
Winning
development,
the AI
actually.
Race. I want to bring in Mark Sullivan, who's a senior writer at Fast Company. He focuses on artificial intelligence.
I don't know if you listened to his AI speech yesterday, but it was pretty
All right,
whack.
Mark, so what can we expect out of this big, grand AI strategy?
Well, this is going to be the administration's grand plan, which they promised right up front in this new administration. And it's going to cover the most important aspects of promoting AI, both at home and our influence around the world. And it's probably going to contain, in some form, points on what the government can do to increase innovation and clear away barriers to innovation on AI so that the U.S. can take a position of leadership in the world. And that could include some language on what we call woke AI, which XAI's Grok is an example of that.
That's not woke.
It'll have to do with energy, clearing away barriers to creating new energy sources to power data centers. And it might include some language about what the government can do to help finance some of the innovation that's going to be needed for this push.
So the White House says the plan will promote AI dominance in the world. How does the U.S. plan on doing that when it feels like we're sort of behind the eight ball? Not because of companies like ChatGPT and the others that are managed here, but it does feel like the technology seems to be lagging what we see in other countries.
Is CBS News stupid? Is CBS News fucking stupid? I can't even believe it. Is it stupid? Is he stupid? Is this man stupid? Is he saying that we're behind when we have Sam Altman, Elmo, Google, which, by the way, their shares went way up because they're getting a lot of contracts for AI stuff from the government. Is this man stupid? I think he is.
Well, I think there would be strong disagreement with that opinion, at least here in Silicon Valley. You know, the overriding opinion here is that the U.S. does remain in the lead on AI models and apps. And we even remain in the lead in robotics, but the lead has been growing much smaller, and we feel pressure, competitive pressure from China, especially with what we've seen from them in terms of they've just been releasing a ton of humanoid robots over the last year. And, you know, they've made some big progress on AI models like DeepSeek. So there's definitely been some pressure, and that's firing up this sort of competitive
not a fake one, but basically a shell just to throw out there and throw shit
AI
into
action
the
plan that we're going to hear about today.
Yeah, and I guess I should clarify that I meant that that it feels as if the technology is being used by other countries more efficiently than it has been here in the United States. And the other big question that I have, and I've talked about this with our money.
I can't watch this news person who is so incredibly dumb that I will throw something like my computer. But guess what? It gets better. It gets better. We may not have Ingracia. We may not have Ingracia, but we have Dr. WineBox. That's right. Janine Pirro's confirmation hearing. Wait, where's Dr. WineBox? Where's Pirro? Come on. Where is she? Hold on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here she comes. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my God.
That we want the committee to run well, and that's definitely better than last week. I think we can work together to make sure this happens. For those who haven't read them, under the Senate rules, the chairman can end debate with a majority vote of a majority present in the committee. This has been used by chairmen of both sides on multiple occasions and is always controversial when that vote would be put forth. We can argue about whether this instance or that instance was justified or not, but I don't think that would be productive. It's unsurprising that Republicans and Democrats both tend to think that
SB. We got
in
friends
our
who
separate
got
ways
stuff.
that we're justified when
you,
our
Carrie.
side takes that procedure of forcing a vote. The important point is, I agree this shouldn't be a common practice, and I don't intend to use it unless the consideration of the nominee is being unfairly obstructed. So, moving forward, I'll work with the ranking member to ensure that we allocate sufficient time for debate. I'll ask the ranking member to work with me to ensure that we can navigate the Senate calendar and the Senate 2-hour rule to ensure that we can vote on nominees when they're on the agenda. As chairman, I try to be fair to all members of the committee, even during controversial nominations.
I don't deserve generosity.
We have plenty of them and have had plenty of them as well. In February, during a markup on Director Patel of the FBI, I held the meeting open and sat here in silence for an extended period of time as a courtesy as an example to Senator Schiff so that he could arrive in time to speak in the opposition to the nomination. I look forward to working with the ranking member and my colleagues to ensure that we can allow for robust debate in committee while also ensuring nominees receive a vote.
Are you going to go any faster? Because we need you to go faster.
Senator Durbin.
Oh, thank God.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to address your comments in a moment, but I ask the leave of the committee for a point of personal privilege. I want to acknowledge a member of my staff who's leaving. Yashi Gunawardena has served on my staff for over 4 years, personal office and committee, worn many hats, including serving as a professional staff member and nominations clerk. She's excelled in every role. Early on in her time with us, Yashi worked on Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation hearing. If you're a federal judge who's come before us in the past year, it's safe to say that Yashi played a key role in your confirmation. She also works on protecting the 10 nominees. I remember expressly what you did say.
All right, thank you so much for all your help, but I don't need to listen to it.
At 10:30. You made that point early on. I didn't know if that was a hard and fast rule, but you did say it. I will acknowledge that point. I want to address the claim that this was based on precedent. The precedent for cutting off debate and overriding committee rules by majority was established by 3 Republican chairmen. Chairman Hatch, who in 2003 cut off debate on 2 judicial nominees. Yourself in 2018, cutting off the debate on Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court. Chairman Graham, who in 2019 cut off debate on a partisan immigration bill, and 2020 cut off debate on Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court. I believe what happened last week was different from what I did in 2023 when I cut off debate on 2 district court nominees. In that case, the nominees were on the markup for the 4th time. They had already had nearly 2 hours of debate on the nominees, and every member of the committee had already had an opportunity to speak. In fact, we'd already voted on the nominees, and the only reason we came back was one of our members from Minnesota stepped off the floor at an inopportune moment and then came back on the floor and tried to register her vote in person. And we weren't certain that that would stand up to the test of whether it was a valid roll call, and we started over for another go-around. During my 4 years as chair of this committee, I provided members on both sides of the aisle with ample time to debate before calling votes. The bottom line is this. The Senate parliamentarian has been clear that a chairman can override committee rules by a vote of the majority of the committee. Both Republican and Democratic chairs have done that in the past. I think each of us would say that we did not relish it. But this committee has a long tradition of robust debate And I especially appreciate your comments
Harry,
about trying
thank
to
you. That's right. After
recognize
the
that
stream, go to Lolo's main
precedent
page,
in
click
your own
join,
administration
and
as
check
chairman.
that you have enabled
I understand our
receiving gift
staffs have sat
memberships
down
if
in
you
a
would
peaceful
like.
way and talk this over.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to respecting the fact that we all
We got to
have
do something.
busy schedules, that we
just,
still have ample time to debate these lifetime
I want to
appointments.
do something with
because that's an
members, but
important part of
I'm
our
also like, I don't want to leave
responsibility.
anybody
I
out.
thank you. I'm going
But then
to
I
withhold
wanted,
my
you know what I mean?
statement
Like,
beyond that point, and so that we can move on.
but I really appreciate it.
Now,
I just
if
yesterday.
I could explain.
Can I just tell you that yesterday, last night, I bought a year-long subscription with the money that you all have given. I bought the year-long subscription to the Reuters stories so that when Reuters come up, I can go past the paywall. And I'm looking at a couple of other subscriptions for news that I'll just go ahead and purchase. So I just want you to know that the money that you give actually goes into the subscriptions that I have for the for news sources, for the ticker tape that you see below. That's a subscription too, and the platform. I have OBS, but then I have another platform on top of it. So I just want you to know what you guys give, and you never have to give. I really don't expect it. I'm always like embarrassed, but I'm so grateful. But I just want you to know that money all goes into shit that we use on a daily basis. And I'm so grateful. So I know every dollar is really important to people right now. So I just want you to know, first of all, you really don't have to. But at the same time, you are so much helping what is actually happening day to day. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, that's a great idea. ProPublica. Yeah, I hadn't bought anything from them. I also have a couple of Substack subscriptions, like Heather Cox Richardson. I signed up to give her money. I have Paul Krugman. I'm not sure I'm going to keep that, but I like it from the economist standpoint. But anyway, so I just want you to know, you guys are so wonderful. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. But again, not necessary. I will do these things and use my money, but I really appreciate it. It's very, very helpful. And you know what? You don't have to help, Kevin. You're helping by being here. You're also helping by just showing up. You guys know how important that is to me and how much it makes me feel good. So just the fact that you're here also is a gift. So thank you so much. All right? I love you. Thank you.
Proceeding today, by agreement with the minority, will first voice vote all U.S. attorneys except for Pirro, and we'll do that en bloc. After a voice vote, I'll open the floor for debate on the nomination of Dean Pirro.
Mr. Chairman?
Before her roll call vote. After the Pirro vote, we'll proceed to the bills.
Look at the concerned lawyer behind him. Look at this guy. This guy's all worried.
May I say something about the comments of the ranker and the chair on that matter of last week?
I hope you can do it quickly. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, both you and the ranking member said that the cutting off of debate had been done a handful of times. It was not relished by either the majority, when it was a Republican majority or Democratic majority. But the sentence that was said by both you and the ranking member was that you can end debate with a majority vote. I think what I said to you in a private conversation that I appreciate, and what I want to just say here is that's not how it was done last week. We didn't have a vote. And that's what I was asking for time and time again during that episode. So clearly, I know the rules.
Thank you so much, Karen. That means
clearly,
everything.
I've checked with the parliamentarian. We can override the rules of the committee, but there should be a vote.
Means everything to me,
You began to call a vote, but then you were cut off by staff, and then we pushed the vote through. And the reason why it upsets me so much is because the debate was on a judge for my state.
That's right.
On the Third Circuit. We've created...
I don't want to interrupt him. Hopefully you guys find nuggets, right? Hopefully you find nuggets that you can share, something you didn't know. You know, I know that's not always the case. Sometimes we go over stuff that we all know and we're just kind of reinforcing it. But also, and the camaraderie. It's just such a beautiful community. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
the climate in this country that is deepening and deepening a reflexive
But now it's time to get high.
tribalism where people aren't interested in listening to the facts anymore, listening to each other. Tribalism kills curiosity. It kills the will to listen with an open heart or open mind to your opposition, even if you disagree with them or think you'll disagree with them. That's something that this committee, I think, needs to foster. I'm very troubled this last month because I've seen people who want to come forward with things on this nominee, but they are so terrified of being doxxed or targeted or threatened or worse.
It means the world to me too, Gary.
The rising tide of hate, both of us on both of our parties have seen this. Judges in my district that are taking extra steps to protect themselves. The climate is getting so bad. I want to say to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle that this culture of fear is affecting our ability to deliberate and do our job. A whistleblower came here to this committee with information that was disregarded. There is another person that's come forward to me through their attorneys. And so I just ask my colleagues, if you believe that, do you believe that a nominee who is not truthful under oath before this committee should not be confirmed? Do you believe that a nominee that comes before this committee that is not forthcoming and truthful should be confirmed? Do you believe that understanding the intent of a question requires a nominee to answer it honestly and not try to evade the question because they understand the intent of the question? If you believe these things, and since we can't have debate here, but before this person comes to the floor, on the record, I want to invite people to come to talk to me, and I will provide you with substantive information that should have been discussed in this hearing. Clearly is not. Clearly we can't have debate, but we have substantive information relevant to the truthfulness of this nominee, and I'm hoping more of my colleagues in this climate of fear and intimidation and rushed votes would want to know the truth before the final vote. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to respond to you. You and I had a private conversation, and I'm not going to say anything that you said, but it was a fruitful conversation as far as I'm concerned after our last meeting. But remember, one of the things that I told you was that we had this conflict with other committees. And remember that I told you that you got to have 100 senators together.
Both are right.
To solve this country's problems. Now, there's enough work for an individual senator to do 7 days a week if he wants to. But you're never going to solve this country's problems just working 2.5 days a week like we did
but
under
honey,
Schumer,
he's talking about the fact that you're not letting a whistleblower come forward and share the information that they have about the nominee.
On a
That's
5-day work
that's
week,
the period.
Monday through Friday, like it was the first 25 years I served in the United States Senate. We'd start at 10 on Monday and go to 4 on Friday. And then you don't have to have all of these meetings coming on a Thursday afternoon or a Thursday morning because you got more days to do it. I always had an agreement with Senator Hatch when he was chairman of the Judiciary Committee or chairman of the Finance Committee, and I was chairman of this committee, that we wouldn't be having our meetings on the same day because we worked it out. Now, that was still a very short week, but if we'd put in more time here, we wouldn't have to have these meetings all going at the same time. So why don't you talk to Schumer and I'll talk to Thune about working a 5-day week.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say, I've only had 14 years here. You were one of the best people I've had to work with over those 14 years. Because as I said,
bored watching Chuck Grassley drive.
As last week's proceedings were going on, I feel like I know you, and I appreciate what you said. And I actually agree with you 100%. And I especially like when Chuck Grassley gets cantankerous, because that's the best Chuck Grassley. So I just want to say I'm not arguing with any of that, and I appreciate it. I'm just simply saying that I feel like it's killing me that on this nominee, there is evidence that the nominee misled the committee, and I have not even gotten a chance for my colleagues to listen to the evidence, and that's what frustrates me. But sir, I cannot tell you, I appreciated our private conversation and the 14 years we've had of working together. and I'm hoping that we can do a better job moving forward.
Now, I'm hoping that we can move the way I suggested. We'll let anybody debate all they want to about Janine Pirro, but we'd now move to en bloc votes by voice on Kurt Alme, Nicholas Chase, Leslie Wood Murphy,
I do too.
Daniel Rosen, Eric Siebert, and Kurt Wall. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. No. These people will be reported.
Mr. Chairman, can I be recorded no on all of these? I'd like to be recorded no.
Like to be recorded as well as a no.
I heard Booker. I hear from.
I'd like to be recorded as a no vote on Kurt Alme,
Who
Leslie
was the
Murphy,
third one?
and Kurt Wall, and Nicholas Chase.
Oh, just on specific ones?
Yes.
Booker's on all of them, right?
And I would like to be recorded as no on all.
On all of them, okay. And you?
I'd like to be recorded as a no vote on Kurt Alme, Leslie Murphy, Kurt Wall, and Nicholas Chase.
Okay.
And I wanted to give a brief statement on my nominee.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
please.
Mr. Chairman,
then we'll
if I
go
could
to-
on the recorded vote, unless this is on the.
On all of them, Senator Schiff?
No, on individual ones, if this is the appropriate time or after Senator Klobuchar.
I'm just going to say that we're going to debate it for too long than I take. Both Senator Smith and I have submitted our blue slips on Daniel Rosen. He was recommended by a nominations committee formed by Congressman Emmer, composed of attorneys, former judges in our state, and he came highly recommended by that committee. He's a Navy veteran, a graduate of the University of Minnesota Law School. He has practiced law in our state for over 30 years. He's been an active member of our legal community and has an extensive pro bono practice. The U.S. Attorney's Office in our state has been one of the premier U.S. Attorney's Office in the country, second biggest white-collar case in the country they prosecuted. They have been instrumental in combating violent crime, dismantling street gangs, combating human trafficking, taking fentanyl off our streets, and the office is currently leading the effort to bring the assassin in the horrific shootings, the murders of my friend, the state legislature, to justice. Importantly, Mr. Rosen has committed to us that he will continue the office's tradition of excellence.
Now we'll go to debate on Pirro. Who wants to be?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman. Just a minute. Senator Schiff, you wanted to express a vote on.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to be recorded as a no on Kurt Alme, a no on Nicholas Chase, a no on Leslie Murphy, and a no on Kurt Wall.
Okay, thank you. You'll be recorded.
Thank you.
I'm going to recognize, you're on Pirro, right? Yeah,
I am.
You go ahead.
What?
Senator.
Anybody else seek recognition on that previous roll call vote? I guess not.
No, he wanted to speak on Pirro.
Okay. Well, Mr. Chair.
DC calls on you to reject Janine Pirro. Nobody in this body is elected to represent the District of Columbia. None of you are representing district's residents, 700,000 people in the District of Columbia. Vote no Janine Pirro.
DC residents reject Janine Pirro.
Okay, go ahead, Senator Durbin.
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Pirro is the latest Trump loyalist to be nominated to the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia following Ed Martin's withdrawal. Ms. Pirro has demonstrated for decades that she prioritizes her relationship with Donald Trump, now president,
Talk about the pardon
over almost
for her
anything
husband.
else. She initially condemned the January 6 rioters and their attack on the Capitol, and then did an about-face. In January 2025, she called January 6 rioters, quote, hostages. The rioters, hostages. She also complained about a 22-year sentence imposed on Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio, arguing he should not be subject to such a long prison term. Notably, a judge found that Tarrio's actions led to, quote, 200 men amped up for battle encircling the Capitol. After his release, Tarrio said, quote, success is going to be retribution. He then posted a video of himself stalking officers who defended the Capitol on January 6th. Ms. Pirro has also argued that prosecutors handling January 6 cases should be prosecuted themselves. And now she's nominated to lead the office where many of those prosecutors, if they haven't been fired by Emile Bove, will still work.
Toilet wine.
When asked
for her
whether
husband.
January 6 rioters were convicted of violent assaults on police officers should have been given full and unconditional pardon by President Trump, Ms. Pirro implausibly claimed, and quote, she was not aware that the rioters who were convicted of violent assaults were given full and unconditional pardons. They were. The facts show otherwise. At least 169 January 6 rioters were convicted of assaulting police officers. So here she is, defending the rioters who attacked the police, who protected all of us today to come to this building and meet peaceably. And here she is saying that those who were attacking the police were hostages and mistreated. And she apparently favors the policy of firing the prosecutors who went after the rioters. The prosecutors who went after the rioters for attacking the police. When I met with her last week, I asked if she always accepted the assignments given her by supervisors when she was an assistant district attorney. As expected, she said yes. But when I asked her whether it was appropriate to terminate prosecutors in her office for their work on January 6, she refused to answer. She also claimed she hadn't fired anybody. Well, just weeks ago, since Ms. Pirro became interim U.S. attorney, 3 career prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office, including the leader of the Capital C section, were fired by the Justice Department. It is hard to believe that Ms. Pirro had no knowledge of these terminations. I'm also concerned that she's willing to ignore the Constitution when justifying the unlawful actions of the president. When discussing the administration's deporting immigrants without due process, she said, quote, Fifth Amendment says nothing about illegals, so cut the crap, unquote. As Ms. Pirro knows full well, the Fifth Amendment applies to everyone present in the United States when it demands, and I quote, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. Ms. Pirro's devotion to the president also extends to perpetuating the big lie. She still won't answer the question, who won the 2020 election? With her large platform on the mothership, Fox News, she repeated falsehoods about the 2020 election, leading to Fox News paying nearly $800 million to settle defamation claims brought by Dominion Voting Systems. For example, it was Ms. Pirro who falsely claimed that Dominion Voting Systems, quote, started in Venezuela with Cuban money, that the company had software backdoor to flip votes around. Ms. Pirro's fealty to the president extends to attacking lawmakers who are not fully in line with the MAGA agenda, including many members on both sides of the aisle. Her record makes it clear that she'll prioritize President Trump's MAGA agenda, not the rule of law, nor the Constitution. Trump is already using the Justice Department to protect his allies and go after his enemies, and Ms. Pirro will be willing accomplice in weaponizing the justice system. I will give her credit. She asked for an appointment to come and see me. She had to know my predilections toward her nomination. And we did meet, and I credit her with that. I suspect she's going to be approved by this committee. I will try to work with her. She has many positive things in her background, but the particular elements that I just laid out cannot be explained, and I don't believe justify her having this important position. So I'm going to vote against her nomination.
Before I call on Senator Coons, I'm going to put a statement in the record, my own statement in the record. So without objection, it happens to be in support of Pirro. Senator Coons?
Senator Coons was fine with this. I'm just going to put my statements on the record as well for my reasons to objecting to Jeanine Pirro, as well as my statement I was unable to make on Emile Bove last week.
Okay, thank you. Senator Coons.
Mr. Chairman, I defer to Senator Hirono and would then like to make my statement about
Senator
Hirono.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much, and I thank Senator Coons for the courtesy of allowing me to go first. My concerns with Ms. Pirro's nomination are numerous. Ms. Pirro is a Fox News media personality. She does not have the professional qualifications or the prosecutorial ethics to serve as a U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia. In fact, she seems to have no concept of ethics at all. For starters, she perpetuated misinformation and lies about the 2020 presidential election. She was also formerly the subject of a federal investigation into illegal wiretapping over her attempts to get a former police commissioner to bug her then husband's boat to catch him cheating. Pretty bizarre. Later, Ms. Perot personally lobbied President Trump to pardon her ex-husband for his multiple convictions of tax fraud and tax evasion, and he did so. This is a man who was federally investigated for having leaked information from the prosecutor's office Ms. Perot led to the mob. If Ms. Perot is confirmed as the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, she will prioritize politics over justice for the people. This is not someone who cares about crimes of sexual assault and sexual harassment. In fact, she's criticized me for questioning nominees about sexual misconduct, stating that it's an issue that, quote, doesn't really matter, end quote. Rather, Ms. Perot is someone who cares about political revenge, threatening to not just fire, but prosecute FBI employees simply for doing their jobs. Like all of President Trump's nominees, she has demonstrated unwavering loyalty to him. And if confirmed, we can expect that she will misuse the U.S. Attorney's Office to go after President Trump's political enemies. For these very serious concerns, I oppose her nomination and would urge my colleagues to do otherwise. Thank you.
Senator Coons.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley. I strongly oppose Jeanine Pirro's nomination to be U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. As we just heard from Senator Klobuchar, senators have the opportunity, the obligation, to review and consider nominees to serve as U.S. Attorney from their home states. The U.S. Attorney for D.C. is the only U.S. Attorney not scrutinized by home state senators or apparently the Senate Judiciary Committee. She is not a serious nominee. She has not practiced law in decades, although she sometimes pretends to be an attorney on TV and wants to lead what is one of the most important U.S. attorney offices in our nation.
I don't love Chris
She's
Coons,
called the
but
January
this is
6
spot on.
insurrectionists imprisoned for their actions hostages, and she's agreed that the prosecutors handling January 6 cases should be criminally investigated and now wants to supervise those same prosecutors. I ask how they could trust her. We should bring Pirro in for a hearing so she could address these controversial statements because she wasn't vetted by a home state senator and never got a nomination hearing. Mr. Chairman, I also want to briefly speak to Emile Beauvais' nomination, which I did not get a chance to address last week. The state of Delaware is in the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. I served as a clerk on the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. Most of us were here on January 6th, and we fled for our lives as insurrectionists attempted to stop the peaceful transfer of power and nearly succeeded. The United States Capitol Police saved our lives and did so by putting their own on the line. Hundreds of insurrectionists were charged and convicted for assaulting police officers that day. Mr. Beauvais used to agree with holding these people accountable. He even supervised some of the January 6 cases himself. But then President Trump pardoned all the insurrectionists, even those who assaulted police officers trying to protect us, and he changed course. He worked with Ed Martin to fire the January 6 line prosecutors. He demanded the names of FBI agents who worked on the January 6 cases. This is a shameful flip-flop that makes it clear he's willing to do whatever is asked of him, including attacks on law officers being disregarded. His response to your questions for the record, Mr. Chair, condemned violence against law enforcement, but then said that some of the U.S. attorneys who prosecuted those violent insurrectionists were just as bad, calling them equally unacceptable. A remarkable statement, equating those who attack law enforcement with those who took those criminals to court and got them convicted, simply doing their jobs as prosecutors. I care deeply about this nomination. The person who fills this seat will hear cases brought by Delawareans, and based on what I've seen, I'm not confident my constituents will get a fair shake in front of Mr. Beauvais, especially if they're challenging something done by this administration. I urge my colleagues to reject this nomination.
Senator Padilla and then Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Colleagues, the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia is the largest U.S. Attorney's Office in the country. It has over 330 attorneys and 350 staff. The U.S. Attorney is responsible for thousands of criminal cases and thousands of civil cases, often extremely complicated ones. and who is before us for consideration to put in this position of overseeing the largest federal law enforcement office in the country?
He
A
might have got her
television
off that
personality
investigation.
who hasn't litigated in more than 20 years. An attorney who is not admitted to the D.C. bar and who, before becoming interim U.S. attorney, had not practiced in federal court in the District of Columbia or elsewhere. These are serious law enforcement jobs. They're not patronage positions to be handed out to the president's unqualified friends and allies as a thank you for their loyalty.
Manafort was
But it seems
from another country.
to be how this is being treated. Her lack of relevant experience doesn't even touch on Ms. Pirro's outrageously disqualifying past statements. And some of my colleagues have already hit on a lot of these, but I'll highlight just a few. She referred to the January 6th rioters who had been convicted as hostages and called for investigations into the January 6th prosecutors. As ranking member of the Rules Committee, I also have concerns about her work on the ongoing January 6th litigation.
Yeah, okay.
I remind my colleagues here that her predecessor, Ed Martin, argued that the federal government should refund restitution payments made by some of the convicted January 6th rioters. These refunds come straight from the money given to the architect of the Capitol for the nearly $3 million in damage that the insurrection has caused. She has publicly attacked members of this committee by name on multiple occasions, including calling one a, quote, demon rat. She's also attacked Republicans who dare speak out against Donald Trump. She has advocated for the arrest of FBI and DOJ investigators that she didn't agree with, saying that they should, quote, not just be fired, but taken out in handcuffs. She's been taken off the air by her own network for refusing to stop peddling lies about the 2020 election and for repeatedly making racist, Islamophobic comments, including about sitting members of Congress.
That I don't.
Her personal involvement in Fox News' 2020 election coverage resulted in a $787.5 million settlement for defamation of Dominion voting systems as she lied about the security of our election systems. And after everything I have just described, which is just the tip of the iceberg of Ms. Pirro's record, I can't believe we're actually having a vote on the nomination. She may belong on Fox News, but she does not belong in a federal law enforcement role.
Senator Schiff and then Senator Blumenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We don't want the shame and scandal that Pirro has brought to Westchester County. Reject her. Reject her. She does not need it. She's unqualified, disqualified, scandalous, questionable accountability, and a liar.
Now, Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's certainly, I think, come to all of our attention that the bench is held in a lower regard today than probably at any time in our lifetimes. So there are a lot of reasons why that is the case. But it is, I think, all the more incumbent, given the lack of public confidence in a truly independent judiciary, that we really carefully examine each of the nominees that come before this committee and ask ourselves the question, is this going to contribute to the solution and increase confidence in the judiciary, or is it going to contribute to the problem? And it seems to me that too many of the nominees we have examined, like Émile Beauvais, too many of the nominees will only bring further discredit and a lack of public confidence in the judiciary. Is it really likely that members of the public, for example, are going to have confidence that decisions that a U.S. attorney, in this case, Pirro, are being made on a truly nonpartisan, impartial basis? We're going to face the same crisis of confidence in the bench now in the Justice Department, and we are. She may be a capable Fox News commentator.
Interesting, Teresa.
That is really not the criteria we should be using to pick someone for such an important office.
They're talking
spent
about
almost
Janine
6 years
Pirro.
in the U.S. Attorney's Office
Morning,
in Los
Val.
Angeles. I venerate the work
love.
that's done by the Justice Department, at least I have in the past. I have the most profound concerns over what I see the department doing now, the extraordinary breaches of every policy of the department on both sides of the aisle, the dismissal of corruption cases because a allegedly corrupt public official is beneficial to the president on unrelated policy matters.
Ooh,
I don't know where this
Adams.
is heading, but putting Pirro in this position of responsibility is just going to contribute to the problem. I mean, if you look at what those who know her best had to say about her, as my colleagues pointed out, Fox had to pay Dominion $787 million for defaming that voting system. And after reviewing one of Pirro's monologues after the 2020 election, Fox News executive Jerry Andrews emailed network executives that her monologue was rife with conspiracy theories and BS, and is yet another example why this woman should never be on live television. I mean, even her own people on Fox thought she couldn't be trusted to be on TV, on their own network. And after the show was briefly taken off the air, Fox News producer Justin Wells described, they took her off because she was crazy. Optics are bad, but she's crazy. Well, her own executive producer also described her as nuts. Are we going to put someone that even Fox, and I'm not a particular fan of Fox, but even Fox thought was crazy, nuts, couldn't be trusted on live television? We're going to trust her with the lives and liberty of people in the District of Columbia? Her confirmation is only going to add to the lack of public confidence in the Justice Department. I asked her in my questions for the record if she stood by these comments she made that her own executives thought were nuts and crazy and not worthy of being on television, and she would not respond. That should give us a lot of pause about putting someone in a position of responsibility like that. I would just appeal that when it comes to the Justice Department, when it comes to the bench, that we raise the bar a little. Let's not put people on the bench who are encouraging Justice Department lawyers to say F you to the court, or dropping legitimate corruption cases, or lying so badly on national TV that they cost their own network hundreds of millions of dollars. We could do better than that, and I would hope and urge that we will, and urge a no vote on Pirro.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Let me just build on what my colleague, Senator Schiff, has said so well. What ought to concern us on this committee what should concern us on this committee, and we have a very proud tradition on the Judiciary Committee of the United States Senate of responsibly scrutinizing nominees for United States attorney positions and judgeships, is what we don't know
It's
about
protesters in
these nominees
in the gallery.
and what we haven't had the opportunity to ask, such as the questions for the record that Jeanine Pirro has refused to answer. We should be having a hearing with her, asking her why she was regarded as crazy, asking her why she advocated that the prosecutors of the January 6 cases be investigated. And I just want to say a word about the men and women who come today every day in the United States Department of Justice. You know, I was the United States Attorney for the District of Connecticut, as a number of us have been prosecutors in the federal system. I was also a state attorney general. They come to work every day seeking justice. They have an ethos and tradition for the person who is going to be head of the largest United States Attorney's office in the nation and who has responsibility for prosecuting federal crimes that affect the whole nation, to say that The ones to be investigated and prosecuted are the assistant U.S. attorneys who brought criminal charges against the January 6th rioters, I think betrays the entire ethos and norms of the Department of Justice. It undermines, literally, justice in the United States. She ought to be asked what she meant when she was asked on a radio show by a guest who said January 6th prosecutors should be, quote, criminally investigated. And she said, quote, I absolutely agree with that. She's failed to disavow that position. She's failed to answer questions that we've posed in written requests for information to her about remarks that she's made in the past. We need to do our job here, Mr. Chairman. We have a responsibility to scrutinize those kinds of responses and to have her testify. And likewise, with Mr. Beauvais, a lot more unanswered questions. I submitted yesterday a letter to the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, asking for results of the investigation done
Carla.
of a case supervised by
That's
Mr.
very
Beauvais,
interesting.
finding very serious wrongdoing on the part of some of his subordinates and perhaps holding him responsible for them. The Office of Professional Responsibility concluded an investigation. We've had no access to it. He ought to be asked about it. Likewise, the whistleblower who came forward and others who have indicated they have information ought to be questioned by us in public, under oath. We have a job to do here. We should do our job. We should scrutinize these nominees with the kind of fairness, but also intensity that is part of our mandate, because the judgeships are lifetime and the prosecutors are enormously powerful. I always felt
that. Bye, Neil.
that the most
Take
important
care.
decisions I made as a prosecutor were
See you
whether to
whenever.
charge someone.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Because charges can follow people throughout their lives, impact them financially and reputationally. And she is going to command an office of hundreds of attorneys who will be bringing charges and perhaps devastatingly affect the lives of individuals, as well as clearly a responsibility to uphold the public interest in enforcing the law. I think we ought to be delving into their backgrounds by continuing our fact-finding in this committee rather than going forward with her today.
Senator Booker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think if I have my facts correct, I'm the only one of the 100 senators that's actually born in the District of Columbia. My parents came here after college, met here, were for many, many years a part of this city and a part of this community. They moved back here after I left for graduate school and again rejoined the city that they love. I feel very deeply that Washington, D.C. should be a state. They literally have the four other states have similar populations. We had a revolution in this country for this very idea that we should not have taxation without representation. They have no senator. They have no one to speak up for their interests. They have no one to speak up for their values, no one to work in a cooperative fashion to make sure that the people in some of the most important positions in their community actually reflect that community. To me, this is yet another deep insult to the dignity and the decency of the people of Washington, D.C. It is deeply offensive to the people who have called this community home for generations. We as a body should have extra care for this population when it comes to positions like this. We as a body should, in the spirit of our founding documents and our founding ideals, should really think twice before we push someone on this population that is so violative of that population's interests. This candidate this nominee. We've heard from my colleagues all the ways in which this person has not earned such a position. We have an obligation spelled out clearly in the Article 1 branch of our Constitution that we should advise and consent. This, to me, is insulting to a population that deserves much better from this body, and I'm sorry that we're moving forward.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator Booker.
It look.
DC residents agree. We do not want Janine Pirro. We need a federal prosecutor. We need a federal prosecutor who will keep us safe, who will not grandstand for the cameras. We need somebody who will not turn the resources of her office against us.
We'll now turn to the nomination of Janine Pirro. What's wrong?
We're waiting for Senator Blackburn. She just stepped out.
What the hell?
I want to introduce into the record in support of Pirro from the National Fraternal Order of Police. They praise Ms. Pirro for, quote, passion for seeking justice for victims, which was cornerstone of her prosecutorial career.
Look him up.
They further quote, she has been widely
Not to
praised
mention Ukraine.
for her work. She has been widely praised for her work in prosecuting domestic abusers, sexual abusers, stalkers, and racists. Without objection, that will be put in. And then we will, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Grant.
Aye.
Mr. Cornick.
Aye.
Mr. Lee.
Aye.
Mr. Cruz.
Aye.
Mr. Hawley.
Aye.
Mr. Curtis.
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy.
Aye.
Thanks for that, Teresa.
Mr. Schmidt. Aye. Mrs. Britt.
Aye by proxy.
Mrs. Moody. Aye. Mr. Durbin.
No.
Mr. Whitehouse.
No by proxy.
Yeah.
Ms. Klobuchar.
No by proxy.
Mr. Coons.
No by proxy.
Mr. Blumenthal.
No.
Ms. Arano.
No by proxy.
Mr. Booker.
No.
Mr. Padilla.
No.
Mr. Welch.
No by proxy.
Mr. Schitt.
No.
Chairman Grassley.
Aye.
On this vote, the ayes are 12, the nays are 10.
God. Bless America.
The nominee will be favorably reported.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. What a joke. That's exactly right, Lee.
First up on the legislative agenda
All right, what are you
is
gonna
the
talk
Trace
about?
Act.
What's that?
This bill is sponsored by
Sponsored?
Tillis, Padilla, Blumenthal. It directs the Attorney General to include data in the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System that indicates if the last known location of a missing person was on the federal land or in territorial waters of the United States. I understand that there's a manager's amendment, OLL 25998, which I would now call up and without objection will be adopted. Any objection? No objection heard, so sponsors amendment. If any of the bill's sponsors would like to speak on the bill at this point, I will pause for debate.
Mr. Chair, just briefly, I want to thank Senator Padilla for being co-lead, Senator Blumenthal for being original co-sponsor. This is a measure that passed unanimously out of the last Congress. We are resubmitting it, hopefully this time we will get it to the president's desk in this Congress. I will subject my formal comments for the record. Thank you.
Okay.
Urge adoption.
Mr. Chairman.
Please go ahead.
Mr.
Senator
Chairman,
Durbin.
I support this package, and I want to particularly note the Comprehensive Health and Integrity in Licensing and Documentation Act, which I'm pleased to lead with you, will extend important protections to ensure all individuals with unsupervised access to children are vetted by a nationwide background check.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
Those in
fucking
favor
finally.
of 1038, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. The ayes have it, and 1038 will be reported to the floor. The next bill is 1098.
I don't see anything
Called the
burning
Opioid
on
Overdose
in lieu of this.
Data Collection Enhancement Act. This is my bill with Senators Cantwell, Cornyn, Klobuchar. Our bill provides funding to track drug overdoses so that resources like Narcan aren't wasted and are distributed to areas where they're really needed. If any of the bill's sponsors would like to say a few words, now's the time to do it. I don't see any requests for, oh, Senator Blumenthal.
If there's no objection, I ask to be added as a co-sponsor to this bill. And I also want to just clarify that I was a no on all of the U.S. Attorney nominees. I'm not sure whether in the back and forth.
It was down party lines.
I might have been missed. I was here.
12 to 10.
Just to clarify the record.
I assume the clerk heard that. You'll be so recorded.
Thank you.
And you will be co-sponsor.
Thank you.
Those in favor of 1098, say aye.
Mr. Grassley? Mr. Grassley?
Where?
I'm sorry, I was trying to be recognized.
Go ahead.
Yes. First of all, I want to express at the top a lot of frustration that the DOJ is scraping money back from some states. I've made this point multiple times, but it is very frustrating to me that my state is being denied these type of grants while other states are. We're seeing a big frustration across New Jersey that very thoughtful grants that could be saving lives and being substantively helpful are being denied. And with that frustration, I want to call up an amendment. I'd like to call up my amendment number ALL 25698. Mr. Chairman, this amendment would allow S1098 to take effect on the date when the Attorney General makes public all unclassified files, flight logs, correspondence, and evidence related to Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and their associates. The Department of Justice, we know, clearly has lied to the American people
just when it
one
was starting
way
to get a
or
little
another.
boring.
Attorney General Bondi said that there were truckloads of evidence from the Epstein files and the Epstein list, leading people to believe that there was criminal activity that they had evidence of. I know Bovee, who we're talking about, was part of this. We found out yesterday that the president is mentioned several times in the Epstein files, and he was briefed on it back in May when he said he was not told that. Then in July, suddenly the DOJ and the FBI said there was nothing additional to disclose. So what's the lie?
Jim.
That there are truckloads of evidence and this DOJ is protecting those associates with this horrific crime? That Mr. Bovee, a Third Circuit nominee, is part of that cover-up? Or is the lie that there is nothing there at all? Let's just find out. This is simply asking for disclosure and transparency, and I'd like to offer that amendment.
Mr. Chair, parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chair, down here. Yeah, I don't know the details of the judiciary rules, but is it in order for a member to interrupt the chair when he's in the middle of calling a vote?
Oh, please.
I'm
Tillis, don't go so hard.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
baby.
Lawyers on that point.
It's up to the chairman.
What?
It's up to the chairman.
It's up to the chairman, but I'm not going to pick a fight with Booker.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd call up a second-degree amendment to Senator Booker's amendment to 1098. This has to do with death penalty as aggravating factors for illegal aliens who commit a homicide in the United States while illegally in the country. I find it astonishing that our colleagues are more interested in the crimes of a dead man than they are in addressing the real problems that affect the public safety of American citizens on a daily basis.
Oh, this is like audition day.
Virtually all of which flow from the open border policies of the Biden administration.
Everybody drink. He mentioned the Biden administration. You know, the person who's not president anymore at all. At all. So this is a good, hey man, pivot, right? Just pivot. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Yeah, and actually Booker has not sat idly by. Thank you very much, Scott. So Corny's performing. So this is audition day, everybody. That's what we're experiencing right now. It's audition day. I just didn't know it. Everybody's auditioning for something. Maybe Cornyn got on that plane once or twice. Yeah, well, they could have passed the bipartisan border bill. That's right. How about that, Lankford?
As we discussed in a subcommittee hearing a couple of days ago, there are more than 200,000 illegal aliens under final orders of deportation who have exhausted all of their remedies under the law
I don't
and
know
who
why you're
have either
worried about
committed
that.
crimes or are charged with crimes. And yet we hear from our colleagues here that, well, these are just gardeners or housekeepers or people who are relatively innocent other than having committed the crime of illegally entering the country.
Oh my God.
But to our colleagues,
Corny just wanted
the
to make
intrigue
sure
and
that you were
salacious
reminded
details
he's a
of the
white
Epstein case,
supremacist.
of course, are a great distraction from the issues that have a meaningful, make a meaningful difference in the lives of ordinary Americans. And what I thought we were here to actually serve, which is their
so you don't
interests.
care about victims
And
of
what do
sexual
the
assault?
American people really care
Is that
about?
it? You don't care
Well,
about child victims
that
of sexual
President
assault,
Trump is
Senator
doing
Cornyn?
exactly what he promised to do and what he campaigned on from the moment he took to the campaign trail. And
Oh, I
of
can't
course,
wait till
has followed
Corny
through
loses
on
all
and
his
kept that promise
business
now he's
interests
in
because of the
office.
recession we're about to go into. That
Let's
almost
talk
might
about
make it
how
worthwhile.
President Trump has kept his promises when it comes to
wouldn't. I'm sorry.
making our
That was a
communities
terrible thing to
safer
say.
by securing the border and enforcing our
I
immigration
see it
laws.
coming, but I don't wish it
He
to
promised to restore America's standing in the world.
Even for these
And President
morons.
Trump has kept this promise from making his tax cuts permanent through the One Big Beautiful Bill to trade deals that put America first and stop unfair competition.
Which is really funny because what would we just do? Let's see, Brazil, 50% tariff when we already had a surplus because we didn't like the way they ran their own country, which they wouldn't stand for anybody telling us that we should run our country a different way. So I don't know why they think that anyone else should care, but here we are. Let's see. So there's that. And then what else was there? Let's see. I don't know. I mean, there's just so many. I can't even just pick on one. So
By our adversaries, help lower inflation, lower gas prices, lower food prices.
And wait.
President Trump is delivering.
Then there's, boy, he looks like a corpse today, doesn't he? No, then there's the Japan trade deal, right? And the Japan trade deal imposes a 15% tariff on all Japanese imports. But because of all the materiel tariffs like copper, steel, etc., thank you, Lee, for sharing that wisdom. Because of the tariffs on the copper, steel, etc., and when parts are assembled or put together in Canada or Mexico and aren't under the MC, whatever, that means U.S. companies are going to have to spend more to make the same product. So their profit margins are going to be squeezed, whereas for Japan's automakers, they're really just having to factor in that 15% tariff. So the Japan deal struck in the last couple of days actually turns out to be far more lucrative for Japanese car manufacturers than for U.S. automakers. Have I got that right, Lee? Oh, baby. Yeah. Okay, so that's, yeah. So that's just an example of a ridiculous trade deal that is not going to achieve onshoring, nor is it actually just sets us up in a worse economic position for our American car manufacturers than ever before. Oh my God. Oh yeah, and the $550 billion over what, 6 years or something like that? I can't recall what the time period is. Not that much money. It's actually not that much money. But anyways, but I digress. What's up? What else, Corny? What else?
On the pocketbook issues that virtually
Egg
all
prices?
Americans care about.
Oh well.
And let me turn to
Let's just
national
clip
security
this.
and public safety. He promised to secure
Oh,
the
bye,
border.
Badger.
Promise
Off to the
made,
salvage yard. Fine.
promise kept. He promised to restore the rule of law and enforce the laws actually on the books.
Japan
a promise
hasn't even
being
accepted
kept every
this
day
faux deal.
by our men and women in blue, our
And
immigration
90%
officers
profit
and
for
our
the
law
US.
enforcement officers
Maybe
in the
they're going to
field.
call bullshit on that one.
This last hearing, as I indicated earlier, I held a hearing on President Biden's open border policies that led to our country being flooded, literally flooded, by millions of illegal aliens,
Gosh,
including
is
among
Biden
that
president
terrorists
right now? I don't know.
and gang members and people who committed heinous crimes against innocent American citizens like Lake and Riley. We heard the stories of two angel
I
moms.
think you get a bonus point for
Tammy
mentioning a
Nobles
victim's
and
name.
Marie Vega, both of whom have to live every day with the
recycling
horrendous
at
murders
lunchtime. Yep.
of their loved ones. They had a few simple questions for us and for law enforcement during the Biden
Spit it
administration.
out.
Why didn't the Biden administration do anything to stop criminals from coming into the country?
Because, and actually they did, but I'm going to ignore the fact that you're just lying straight up about that. But one of the major reasons that there wasn't an improvement in border operations, if you will, is that the bipartisan, let me say it again, the bipartisan bill to fund more immigration judges, fentanyl screening at the border, more agents at the border, other infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. That bipartisan bill was killed by your guy, even though your own senators are the ones that fucking co-sponsored the fucking bill. So, excuse me, this is a self-inflicted wound that you did to tank an election. You want to talk about election interference? That sounds like election interference to me. You're not putting the interests of the country ahead of your own political interests. That's what you did, Corny Cornyn. That's what you did. And if a Democrat had done that, you guys would be pulling your hair out like Grace Lisa. Because this is so fucking ridiculous. It's so fucking ridiculous. Anyway, here we go.
Why didn't President Biden remove the worst criminal aliens that were already in the United States and who kept committing crimes? Not just one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We got to go to finality on these amendments.
Wait, I gotta.
Judges and juries to pronounce the sentence of death for aliens convicted of murder.
Amendments will have to do that. But I would beg with the two people that are sponsoring amendments, we're dealing with an opioid overdose bill with the problems we have. It seems like this is a bipartisan bill too, why we should screw this bill up. And I would ask if my colleagues would think about changing their mind and offering the amendment. Senator Blumenthal.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Dick.
I really hope that this issue would be bipartisan, because I think that the American public,
the MAGA voters,
regardless of whether they identify as Republicans
mostly
and Democrats,
the MAGA
really
voters.
believe that
We all know what's in
full
the files.
disclosure
They're the ones who don't want to believe
these files is absolutely necessary to dispel
I don't need to see the files.
the doubts about the
if that's what
credibility
it
of the Department of
takes,
Justice
then
in
here,
the Epstein matter. I really believe it's in the interest of the president for there to be full disclosure. And that's the reason why on the House
You're gonna
side,
saw off your own
there has
catalytic
been
converter? That
bipartisan
sounds so
support
badass.
for full disclosure of the Epstein files. I really hope there would be here too. Senator Cornyn is right that Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but right now, ongoing in real time, right before our eyes, are events and actions that smack of a cover-up. There ought to be no secret meetings, no secret deals, especially with
with
Trump's
the whole
personal lawyer,
Elaine.
who is now doing his bidding at the Department of Justice, namely Todd
Todd
Blanche, who reportedly is on his way as we speak to Florida or whatever prison is currently confining Ghislaine Maxwell, possibly to offer her a deal in return for exculpatory information about his former
False
client, the President of the
testimony?
United
I
States.
don't know.
All of it just really stinks. No ordinary person can send their Department of Justice henchmen to some kind of cover-up talking to a
witness
convicted
intimidation.
felon in a federal prison.
How about that?
And unfortunately,
How about
the
that?
appearance here
Witness
is that
intimidation,
President
anybody?
Trump, once again, is misusing his power corruptly
Yeah,
to
it will all
benefit
come
himself.
out eventually,
Most
butterflies,
people
yeah.
can't
But there-
do any of it. It is
MAGA
unfair,
needs to be proven,
and
too.
it
They're the
undermines
only
the
ones that
credibility
don't
of our
believe it.
entire criminal justice process. The American people deserve full disclosure of this file. I hope we can have bipartisan agreement.
Mr. Chairman?
Oh, no.
Mr. Chairman?
Oh, my
I should
God.
probably go back and forth. Go ahead, and then I'll call on Durbin.
Good call.
Ew.
Mr. Chairman?
What a dick.
Are we under some sort of time limit by which we have to act today?
If we want to get these bills out, the answer is yes. Whenever we lose a quorum because there's a vote going on or the 2-hour rule is kicked in.
How can we go ahead and vote while then allowing everybody else to have their say?
What?
I'll stay around as long as people want to speak.
Could we go ahead and vote?
We
And then
could if-
those who would like to make comments
No.
can stay. Would that be okay?
Do you have to poop?
Pretty please, with sugar on top?
We could, but I'm not going to have a upheaval like we had.
You won't have a fight with Booker. He's okay with that.
Go ahead. Senator Biden asked for the floor.
Up.
But can we do that, Mr. Chairman? That was a question, actually.
I'm going to ask, can we proceed to vote on these amendments and then proceed to vote on the bill?
I have a question on the Cornyn second degree.
But I have a question first.
I'm sorry, I thought you gave up the floor. Go ahead.
No, sir. Can we go ahead and vote on the bills? And then you stay, or whomever else wants to stay, to let everybody finish making their remarks in light of the fact that we have a time limit by which we have to act, and we're in the middle of a vote.
I thought I answered that by saying that I wanted to make sure that we had a consensus that we ought to do that.
There's a vote on the floor. Someone vote on this.
Can we vote?
I don't hear an objection, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I didn't hear a motion.
I make that motion.
Okay.
That we vote? Excuse me, would you restate your motion?
Sure. I move that we go ahead and vote on the matters before us in light of the fact that we're under a time limit.
Clerk will call the roll.
Thank
No,
you.
no. Mr. Chairman, I think I'd just like to be recognized. I know Senator Durbin and Senator Whitehouse, who outrank me on this committee, have asked to be recognized as well to speak.
I don't want to pick a fight with Mr. Booker either, but I made a motion. Is my motion in order, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, your motion is in.
Could we have a vote, Mr. Chairman? Pretty
Can I
please.
have a vote? Yes, call the roll.
Thank you.
But we clarify, without a discussion on the second degree amendment?
Don't call the roll yet.
Without discussion or debate
On the, you're
on
just,
the motion?
Go ahead, sir.
I don't want to jump over the ranking member.
I'll defer.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
I'm reading that Cornyn second degree, and he said a lot of really important things about immigration that are worthy to be discussed. And I'm happy to vote on an immigration bill. I disagree with the death penalty. I will vote my conscience on this. But I want to draw everybody's attention to the first two lines of your second degree. They have nothing to do about immigration. They have nothing to do with the death penalty. I've never seen this before. His first two line is not to bring up this important issue that should be discussed, debated. Your first two lines are to strike my amendment in its entirety. So what we have right here is hidden behind real issues on immigration is really just trying to not vote on the important points that we brought up about transparency and accountability on the Jeffrey Epstein files. This is not an amendment to my amendment. This is an attempt to strike what I have a whole list of prominent Republicans, elected leaders, who want the same thing I want, which is just to have transparency on this matter.
Can we vote
I've
on
heard
my
some of the
second degree?
comments, if I can finish, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
I have heard public statements by my Senate colleagues on both sides of the aisle. I've heard comments from Republicans on the House side and Democrats on the House side that we want transparency and accountability on a matter of public safety. Senator Cornyn said that Jeffrey Epstein's dead yet, but his victims are not. There are women who have horrific stories of vile violence that was committed against them. We have Pam Bondi, our Attorney General, who said that there is evidence, truckloads of it, as to these crimes, potential co-conspirators, potential others involved. How can we not want to just know what happened? Why are we trying to simply turn away from the highest law enforcement officers in the land, from our FBI director to our attorney general, who spoke towards crimes committed and others involved in those crimes? Why are we considering an amendment that is hiding behind real immigration issues, but real intent is to strike a simple request for transparency, for accountability, that Republican voices all across the spectrum have been demanding from this president and this attorney general? So if Senator Cornyn is going to offer an amendment, I'm going to offer a third degree that simply strikes his first two lines. I'll vote on your immigration stuff that you so strongly stated there was the importance of this, but you hid the fact that you put here the real intention of your amendment. It has nothing to do with immigration. It says it right here in the first two lines. The real effort was just to not have accountability and transparency. What are you afraid of?
Bye, Jim.
Chairman, may I
Take
respond?
care. Aw, love to you and your mother-in-law.
I trust the Senate-confirmed Attorney General of the United States to make the proper legal analysis to determine what of the Jeffrey Epstein files can be released. He was confirmed by the United States Senate as Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States. I trust her to make the right legal determination. But I would ask my colleague from New Jersey, you claim you care about the victims. Do you care about Tammy Nobles? Do you care about Marie Vega, the angel moms who lost their loved ones, their children?
People are terrible. Of course he does. This is
the
the
acts
dumb,
of an
disingenuous
illegal alien
part.
who never should have been here in the first place? Do you care about them?
Can I respond to the senator's question?
Yes.
Sir, I've known you for 14 years. You and I both care about victims of crime. And to suggest otherwise is stunning to me.
Yeah.
If I may finish, sir, I allow you to finish. I
asked
you
you a
a question. And I'm trying to
I didn't
answer.
make an accusation.
Mr. Chairman,
I asked you a
Mr. Chairman,
question.
Mr. Chairman.
Answer the question.
I should have allowed a time to respond to the senator's question. I did not interrupt him, and now he's interrupting me.
Please.
It is another violation of the decorum of this place.
Go ahead, Senator Bolton.
Senator Cornyn, both you and I have spent our lives. I know your record. I know your history. I know what you've done. I would never, ever question whether you care about the victims of a heinous crime.
Wow.
You ask me if I care? Absolutely.
Thank you.
No, I'm not finished yet.
Well, thank you for answering the question.
Well, I'm going to answer the question in full. You are not sincere.
Let me explain.
Sir, he has put an amendment in
Would you allow
trying to use the horrific nature
Would you allow me as sponsor of this bill to
Sir,
explain?
I will not pick a fight with Chuck Grassley in the same way that Chuck Grassley won't pick a fight with me.
The reason for his amendment is because your amendment says that this bill that we're working on will not go into effect until we get all these records. And this bill is an opioid bill to help solve some of the drug problems in this country. And we ought to get it passed because it's a bipartisan bill,
then you
and
should vote
it's
for the amendment.
very badly
You
needed.
play these games
Sir,
all the time.
may I respond?
Yes.
So I said at the top of my comments, my frustrations, we've said it to your staff, we've said it to others, that when funds like this have been made available so far in the first 6 months, they're clawing back funds from my state. And that's unfair, and I would like to deal with those. We could deal with them. And given that, I am sticking to an amendment that is not controversial. I know it's not controversial, sir, because I've seen polling literally on Republican channels that the overwhelming majority of Republicans and Democrats want transparency and accountability.
Yeah.
That the overwhelming majority of Americans has seen that one of these two things is lies. Is there truckloads full of evidence as to victims of crime not having justice?
Oh my God, that's terrible, Tom. Oh.
Have we been lied to? Who are we trying to protect? What are they trying to hide? This is not controversial. We have Republican leaders in Congress calling for the same thing that this amendment calls for. And so for a second degree to be offered to mine, where you're using horrific crimes to hide the real intention of this, if this amendment is so important, just strike the first two lines that strikes my entire amendment. The intention of this is clear. It's to not give the American people accountability, transparency, and truth. That's what we as the Judiciary Committee should be seeking. So I offer a third degree amendment, preserving every noble thing that the senator from Texas said he wanted.
You can't offer a third degree amendment.
I can't offer a third degree. Then I ask that we strike the true intention of his amendment, the first two lines.
At this stage, you can't offer a third degree amendment. If there's some way for you to do that, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, may I respond?
Yes.
Briefly?
Then we'll have a roll call vote, because I know you folks want to get votes on your amendment. I asked you to withdraw them, and you aren't withdrawing them. So
Well, I just want to ask a question, Mr. Chairman. In your opinion, would the addition of these amendments to the underlying bipartisan bill jeopardize our ability to pass this underlying bill, anti-opioid bill, out of committee and across the Senate floor and get it enacted into law? Would these amendments jeopardize that?
I see them jeopardized in ways even beyond what you said.
So,
because if we pass the legislation with this stuff on, it wouldn't go into effect anyway. Who knows how far down the road? When the president signs the bill, I want it to be effective.
That's what I thought, and I appreciate your answering the question. Yeah. I think the debate that Senator Booker and I have is not something that's going to be resolved today. And so it will continue. So I think regardless of how we act on the underlying bill, that debate will continue, and neither he nor I are giving anything up in terms of our ability to continue to debate this topic. But I'm willing to withdraw my amendment if Senator Booker's willing to withdraw his amendment in the interest of passing this bipartisan anti-opioid bill out of the committee and through the Senate and seeing it enacted into law, and hopefully saving some lives in the process.
Oh, the nobility.
Booker.
Mr. Grassley,
all of a sudden.
sir,
even though
I have asked for someone to address my New Jersey
Medicare,
concerns for months now.
and VA
There was an incident in which
programs.
you got a special carve out for your state when they froze funds, but I have got no justice for New Jersey. So if you want to postpone this and address my New Jersey concerns about the resources we are not getting, And I know you would do that with me in good faith.
Oh, really? I thought
I would be
Cornyn was
happy
out
in,
of the
in our
cool
next
girls
meeting.
club in
But right
Texas.
now, I am sticking with my amendment.
It'd be faster to address your concerns for New Jersey if you'd asked me to help you with the administration to get something done so you can get your money.
What? Why should we have to do backroom
Sir,
deals?
I've got no, I'm not for
Why?
you.
Then if you
Why should
do
we
it
get a
through the
backroom deal?
legislative process,
What the
tell me that.
hell?
Let me make a
Why?
conversation with the
I
White
know.
House
Come
on your issue.
Exactly.
But I'm going to stick with my
I'm
amendment
practicing
until I get
rowing, you
satisfaction.
two.
The clerk will call the roll.
What are we voting on? I have no idea. On my amendment?
No, we're voting.
My, it's the second degree.
Call the roll on the Cornyn amendment.
Oh.
Mr. Cornyn.
Aye.
Mr. Lee.
Aye.
Are you kidding me? They were just going to shove it through.
Mr. Tillis. Mr.
Weaklings.
Aye by proxy.
Mrs. Blackburn.
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Schmidt.
No.
Mrs. Britt.
Aye by proxy.
Mrs. Moody.
Eyebrow proxy.
No on concealing the Epstein files.
Mr. Whitehouse.
No.
Ms. Klobuchar.
No by proxy.
Mr. Cruz.
No by proxy.
Mr. Blumenthal.
I vote no because I vote no on concealing the Epstein file.
Ms. Verona.
No by proxy.
Okay.
Mr. Booker.
I vote no on this effort to conceal the Epstein files.
Mr. Padilla. Mr. Welch.
No, I'd like the Epstein files.
Mr. Schitt.
No on concealing the Epstein files.
Chairman Grassley.
Aye.
On this vote, the ayes are 12, the nays are 10.
Okay, the Cornyn amendment is adopted. Now we will go to.
Wow. And there it is, folks. There it is.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. So his second degree, which had nothing to do with immigration, which was to conceal the Epstein file, Senator Cornyn's effort to conceal the Epstein files right here on 1 and 2 has now violated my amendment. There is no amendment anymore. It passed.
That's right.
That's right.
And Cornyn is saying, yes, I passed. I did something to stop the American public from seeing the Epstein files. It renders my amendment moot. That was the intention of Senator Cornyn's amendment that he just passed, which was to conceal
Chairman,
the
I have to respond. Nothing we are voting on today is going to change any of the debate about the Epstein file.
Okay, let me explain what just happened. Booker had offered his amendment about releasing the Epstein files and that none of the funding from this bill should be provided until they provide the Epstein files to Congress or to the American public or whatever. Then Cornyn said, wait, hold my beer. I'm offering an amendment that says we have to fully fund the border or something like that, or whatever he's talking about immigration. He failed to mention that the first part of his amendment to the amendment was to get rid of Cory Booker's amendment. So he hid that fact. Booker found that language and said, hey, wait a minute, hold up. He's hiding the fact that this amendment then strikes down my amendment without a vote. And they said, well, tough shit. We're going to vote on his amendment first. So they voted along party lines, 12-10, because they hold the majority, the Republicans. And so Cory Booker's amendment was immediately squashed. It is disgusting, Meowing Star. You're so right. And it's getting them all on record. And it's not important right now because it's very frustrating. But I truly believe that creating the record now is the only thing that preserves for future what the right things were. Right? So anyway, that's where we are. Hi, Jen. Hi, Griffey.
Is
that debate will continue.
That is not
true. If you don't acknowledge that, I just have to, I really question whether your amendment is actually in good faith or not.
What?
Because nothing's going to change that.
What?
But, Mr. Chairman,
What
my
do you
second
mean?
degree
That sounds
amendment
like a
passed, which
feeling,
included
Corny.
a striking the Senator Booker's amendment. I believe we've,
Mr.
spoken.
May I respond? He directly referenced me. May I respond, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
So
Yeah, we
Mr.
are.
Cornyn
I know.
claims that nothing about this would end debate. We're not seeking to end debate. We're seeking to pass legislation out of this committee that would force the disclosure and the transparency and the truth being made public. We had a chance today that Senator Cornyn blocked
excellent news.
to make the truth known to the American public. We had the power today,
too bad.
the possibility today
Thanks,
to
Max.
force
Off
out
topic,
the
Hulk
truth
Hogan dead at
regarding the
71.
Epstein files and the lies and the obfuscation that is happening by this
No,
administration.
Max, that's 3.
What Senator Cornyn did today was to block the truth
I'm so sorry.
about what's happening with the Department of Justice and the Epstein file. It is that on its plain truth, no matter how much he wants to try to dodge that truth.
True.
Mr. Chairman, I have to respond.
Well, quickly,
No, you
because
I
Graham
will
wants to
respond
speak.
quickly.
Take your time.
What Senator Booker is trying to do is to kill this underlying bipartisan bill
No, he's not. That's a
that
terrible
will
thing to
hopefully
say.
save hundreds,
My goodness.
maybe thousands of lives
That's a terrible
because
thing
of
to
the
say about
opioid
someone.
crisis.
Come
It's
on
already
now.
taken tens of thousands of lives in this country over recent years because of the Biden open border policies. So I'm simply trying to preserve this bipartisan legislation, again, that will save lives. The debate that he and I are having over the Epstein files, I doubt will be resolved today based on any amendments either he or I offer. So that's the reason for my amendment, because I want to save lives from the opioid crisis. And I believe his amendment is a distraction from that and actually will jeopardize seeing this bipartisan legislation enacted into
Damn,
law.
I don't have a picture of
Mr.
Jessica.
Chairman,
Kidding me?
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman, may I respond?
No, I'm calling on Graham.
I thought you were going back and forth, sir. I didn't know
I'll
that.
be real quick. So if Senator Booker's problem is with the bill itself, which it seems to be, I understand that. Hopefully, we can work out a way to get money to your state you think does justice for New Jersey. I got that. That makes perfect sense.
That's not.
But the
that's not
Epstein
how you should
amendment-
do things, though.
Present it some other way. It's not going away. What we're trying to do with this bill is really good. And there's no end to this, a way of doing business here. If this is a headline about Cornyn blocks transparency of Epstein, then that would be sad because he's responding to your amendment that would make the bill, quite frankly, fail. I want to help Senator Booker with your problem, but what you're doing, I don't think is helpful to the bill. I don't think it's helpful to the committee. I don't think it's helpful to your problem.
Senator Graham, there's not been a time in my career where you said you want to help me that you didn't. So I'm going to take you up on that, and I'm going to withdraw
glad to-
and I'm going to withdraw my amendment.
You're a good man, and I will try to deliver with Senator Grassley the best I can.
Mr. Chairman, I would
withdraw
also,
Wait, what?
Okay,
I would also ask leave to withdraw my amendment and vote on the underlying bill.
those in favor of 1098, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. The 1098 is reported. Now, the last bill that we have on the agenda is the Child Act. I co-lead this bill with Senator Durbin. The bill ensures that all individuals with unsupervised access to children is authorized to receive nationwide background checks. I'd like to recognize the bill's lead sponsor, Senator Durbin. I think you already spoke on it, didn't you? Yeah. Those in favor of 1528, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. The bill will be reported and the committee's adjourned.
Okay. We are adjourned. Oh, my Lord in heaven. Wow, that was really painful. That was really painful. Wow. 92,000-year-old pervert. Indeed he is. Indeed. Wow. I just, sometimes these guys really take my breath away in terms of how fucking craven they are. But I have a couple things I'd like to read to you this morning, if you would so indulge me. And, all that good stuff. It's just so bloody tiring. Let's see. Now, this is the Substack, which I will definitely link in the description. So please follow this Substack. This is Dee Batiste, but this is also Dee on both Twitter and Blue Sky, which I'll include her handles as well in the. I'll include her handles in the description as well, because she's worth a follow very much. Anyway, I saw this pop up on my timeline on Blue Sky last night, and I really wanted to read it. And so I thought I would, and I really adore Dee. She was the one who did the democracy spaces way back when on Twitter. And she would just go hours and hours and have so many people and uplifting candidates from across the country. I mean, she's just a powerhouse when it comes to democracy and fighting. So it's just really great. So she put this piece together, and I really wanted to read it. So here we are. I'm gonna read it. Let me move it over here so I'm not staring at you. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Oh man, I guess that's not very good. Okay, hold on. I can fix this. I can fix it. La 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 la, la 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 la. There we go. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, so this is her entry from yesterday, From the Battlefield to the Blind Pig, shining a historical light on race riots, police raids, and the bloody pattern America keeps repeating. On the day and in the early hours of July 23rd, 1967, Detroit erupted. It started with a police raid on a blind pig, an after-hours spot in a black neighborhood, where people were celebrating 2 Vietnam vets coming home. 82 people, mostly black, were arrested. What followed was a reaction. It was an act of resistance. It wasn't random chaos. It was years of rage exploding against racist policing, segregation, and a city designed to keep black folks down. Detroit's black residents had been pushed into crumbling neighborhoods, shut out of good jobs, displaced by highway construction, and targeted by a mostly white police force that acted more like an occupying army than protectors. By the time the sun set, the streets were in flames. The uprising lasted 5 days. 43 people died, 33 of them black, and over 1,000 buildings were destroyed. Thousands were arrested. And yet, mainstream media and politicians called it a riot, ignoring what it really was, an uprising against a system built to oppress. This was no isolated event. Police raids on black spaces were routine, part of a larger system of racial control. From enforcing segregated housing to cracking down on civil rights protests, cops were used to keep the racial order intact. Excessive force, stop and frisks, unlawful arrest, and killings were, still are, everyday realities for black communities. And when people pushed back, it was labeled lawlessness. It didn't start in the 60s either. Back in 1919, during the so-called Red Summer, dozens of black communities were attacked by white mobs, often with police support or indifference. In Tulsa, 1921, a white mob, aided by police and the National Guard, burned down Black Wall Street, killing hundreds and destroying a thriving black business district. These weren't riots. They were massacres, pogroms, acts of racial terror. Cops continue to play their role as the enforcers of segregation, protectors of white supremacy, and suppressors of black resistance. Too often, these events get whitewashed in history books. Authorities call them race riots as if both sides were equally violent, but that's a lie. What we're really talking about are state-backed assaults, racist violence, and community survival in the face of brutal repression. This pattern hasn't stopped. From the 1890s, 1960s uprising to Rodney King in 1991 to George Floyd in 2020, we keep seeing the same cycle. Violent policing, protest, media spin, no accountability. Today, it's playing out in the ICE raids that is also targeting American citizens. Police actions, including violent raids, militarized crackdowns, surveillance, and daily over-policing of Black and marginalized communities, are bankrolled directly by government funding. City, state, and federal budgets pour billions of taxpayer dollars into police departments every year, often prioritizing law enforcement over essential services like education, healthcare, housing, or mental health support. This steady stream of public money enables the purchase of military-grade weapons, riot gear, surveillance tech, and armored vehicles, all used not to serve, but to control. Even after high-profile killings or civil unrest, funding for police often increases rather than decreases. In effect, the government doesn't just tolerate violent policing, it invests in it. These budgets reflect political choices to respond to social issues with force rather than care, punishment rather than support. Words matter. Many massacres in U.S. history have been mislabeled as race riots rather than massacres or acts of racist violence. And she has a chart here. Let me see if I can make that. So you can see the Wilmington massacre, oh, I see, but wait, from 1898. 1906, 1917, St. Louis, 1919, Chicago, 1919, Elaine, 1920, the Okai, I'm not sure how to say that, forgive me, 1921, Tulsa, and 1923, Rosewood. The truth is, this country has never fully reckoned with how deep racial injustice goes. Amen. And how often police are the match thrown on a pile of dry kindling. Until the systems change, until justice is more than a slogan, until Black lives are valued in practice, not just in protest, the cycle will keep repeating. People rebel and resist when survival demands it. They give light even when the system tries to smother it. I held a documentary watch last week of the Wilmington 1898 coup to do my bit to shine the light on this historical practice and how it is still occurring and playing out today. Oh, we're definitely adding this to our documentary Tuesdays. Definitely. Oh, and this week, we already watched this one, Vigilantes, Inc., which is one of the best documentaries ever made. It is literally one of the best documentaries ever made. Vigilantes, Inc. I think it's still free. You just have to Google or search, DuckDuckGo, whatever you want to do. Vigilantes, Inc. It's such a good movie, and she's gonna do so. Hey, check out Dee's. Let me go ahead and get this. Let me put this in because I know that you guys would enjoy this very much. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that into here. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Now, this was the other one I really wanted to read. So, hold on. Yes, we did. We watched. Oh, yeah, we actually watched it on YouTube. That's right. We watched Vigilantes Inc. on YouTube because you could do that. That's right. Da, 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 da. Hi, gang. Heard South Park went scorched earth. Yeah, I guess so. Gordon Lightfoot. What about? Wait, Gordon Lightfoot? Is he dead too? No, sorry. Detroit riots, very sad. I know, Lee, I was just thinking of, that made me think of Michigan. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. All right. Thank you, Dee, for that amazing insight. I love you, girl. I love you, girl. I don't think she watches the show, but that's okay. It's not for everybody. Okay. This is a ridiculously archived version of this article, but I really wanted to read this. I think, Lee, you're the one who gave me this article, if I'm not entirely mistaken, which I could be, but I don't think I am. Oh yeah, Vigilantes Inc. is so fucking good. Yeah, Dee's the most. She's just, I love that woman. Love, love, love. All right, so let's take a look at this. Lee, didn't you give me this? I think you gave me this. All right, sorry. It's a archived version of it, so it's really a pain in the ass to look at, but we'll muddle through somehow. Oh my god, stop. Everybody calm down. Let's just try and hold on here. Okay. Back hurts a little bit. Okay. The U.S. agency responsible, was that a Bloomberg article? No, 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 no. That was actually Dee's Substack. Actually, oh yeah, I meant to shoot. Hold on, just a minute. Let me plug that into the chat. Uh, uh, uh. Oh, whoops. Yeah. Okay, that's the link to the Substack that I just read. And that'll definitely be, as well as, well, you can probably follow Dee on her socials from there, but I definitely recommend following her on Blue Sky. She's so good. I don't know if she's still doing spaces on Twitter. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a bit obsessed with the small nuclear reactor stuff. I know, exactly. Bumping up against my day job. Oh my goodness. This is such little escape. I'm not easily offended, but SP. Who's SP? Oh my god. Oh, South Park. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not I've never been I've never been like a watcher of South Park, but and Gal Squad also shared loads of good stuff on the topic. I know we are going to keep our eye on it, and here we are. We're going to keep our eye on it right now, Tom. What a lead-in, Tom. Thanks for that. Thanks for that lead-in, Tom. The U.S. agency responsible for maintaining and designing the nation's cache of nuclear weapons was among those breached by a hack of Microsoft Corp's SharePoint document management software, according to a person with knowledge of the matter. This is Bloomberg reporting. No sensitive or classified information is known to have been compromised in the attack on the National Nuclear Security Administration, said the person, who wasn't authorized to speak publicly and asked not to be identified. The semi-autonomous arm of the Energy Department is responsible for producing and dismantling nuclear arms. Other parts of the department were also compromised. Oopsie. Oopsie poopsie. The agency referred questions about the attack to the Energy Department, but Rick Perry was pooping. Here we go. Hold on. I got you.
On Friday, July 18th, that was last week, the exploitation is what we're calling it, of a Microsoft SharePoint zero-day vulnerability, that's like a boo-boo hack, began affecting the Department of Energy. And I don't even know about why the Department of Energy, the department was minimally impacted. I mean, they just got into some of the nuclear stuff, not like the really important stuff. They didn't get into the really important stuff. They just got into the kinda important stuff. I don't know. Maybe it was like the plans for the holiday party. I don't really know. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not sure. But anyways, what they told me was they were minimally impacted due to its widespread use of the Microsoft M365 cloud. Hey, that wasn't hacked too, was it? Can somebody check that for me? Because I don't know if that was hacked too. But anyways, so the cloud, yeah, up there in the sky, like in heaven, like where my doggy went. I'm not laughing at it. I'm actually really sad. I laugh when I'm sad. Anyways, This cloud, very capable cybersecurity, like super, super, super duper, super duper, duper, duper safe. Super duper safe. Super duper safe. I promise you. I'm a Scout's honor, whatever that is. A very small, like tiny, 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 tiny systems were impacted. And anything that was impacted is being restored. It has not been restored yet, but it is being restored. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I don't know. Oh, thank you, Jane. So don't worry, okay? Don't worry. Just don't worry. Just don't worry about it. I don't know what you're so worried about. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. I promise. It's gonna be fine.
Okay, and scene. The NNSA has a broad mission. What? Which includes providing the Navy with nuclear reactors for submarines and responding to radiological emergencies, among other duties. And they throw a hell of a holiday party. The agency also plays a key role in counterterrorism and transporting nuclear weapons around the country. Huh. So let me get this straight. Hold on. You're telling me that the agency responsible for the movement of nuclear arms around the United States of America had their document management software system hacked, and that minimal information was accessed. What's going on? I can't wait. Okay. Oh, well. Hackers, okay, here we go. Hackers were able to breach the agency as part of a 2020 attack on a widely. Oh, solar winds. Oh, I wish Tina was here. Were able to breach the agency as part of a 2020 attack on a widely used software program from Solar Winds Corp. Remember when the password was password 123 into the back door of Solar Winds security software? And it was such an easy password that hackers didn't even really have to work hard to get into the back end of Solar Winds, which ended up getting them into the back end, not in a good way, of multiple government agencies, multiple corporations, multiple vulnerabilities. We still don't know the extent. I don't think I've been given a good explanation of all the ways Solar Winds has truly fucked us. A department spokesperson said then that the malware, SolarWinds from the entry, had been isolated to business networks only. I don't know what that means, but it sounds bad enough. Right? Interesting factoid. South Park had the first viral video on the internet pre-worldwide web launch, shared over college networks, I believe originally out of UI. Is that University of Indiana, University of Iowa, University of Impossible, and spread via VHS as well. That's so cool. You know, the Simpsons writer who they credit for the predictions came out as a psychic. Oh, really? That's interesting. If a video comes out of Dump doing pedo things, who's going to do something about it? LOL. The people, apparently. I don't know. Oh, University of Illinois. Damn it. I missed that one. How the hell did I miss that? Thank you, Meowing Star. Yeah, I don't see, this is the thing. I don't need to see the videos. I don't need to see the pictures. I don't need to see the descriptions. I don't want to read about it. I don't want any of it, okay? What I want is for if those asshole pedophile supporting chuds would be woken awake by the files, great. But I have no desire to re-traumatize victims. Like, I do think this will be used to get him out of the way and replaced by VP, by Vance or something. I don't know. I think they're trying, I guess. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what comes of this meeting between Todd Blanche. I don't know if she probably is going to give him exculpatory evidence or something, or lie, basically, about the fact that Trump wasn't really there. He was just a buddy, kind of thing, which I don't know. That's why, this whole thing of, unseal the grand jury testimony. Well, who gives a shit? I don't need the grand jury testimony. I need, if you're going to show me the evidence, you have to show the evidence. Again, let me go on the record saying I don't want to see the evidence. I believe already that Trump is guilty of raping a child. I believe that. So, I don't know. Microsoft has blamed the Chinese state-sponsored hackers for the attacks, which exploited flaws in its commonly used SharePoint document management software in a campaign that has breached governments, businesses, and other organizations around the world. In some instances, the hackers have stolen sign-in credentials, including usernames, passwords, hash codes, and tokens, Bloomberg reported earlier. In addition to the Energy Department, the hackers have broken into systems belonging to national governments in Europe and the Middle East, the U.S. Education Department, Florida's Department of Revenue, and the Rhode Island General Assembly. And I think there should be justice for the victims, absolutely. But that doesn't mean I need to see the salaciousness. You know what I mean? And it's not that I don't want to hear the stories. That's not it. It's that I don't have it does, no one needs to prove to me that they did anything wrong, and I'm not interested in exploiting the physical evidence or the tape evidence or whatever, because I think that no one knows, they always just exploit the fuck out of that stuff. And that seems really, really painful. Yeah, we know the truth already, right? But there are people in this world who absolutely may be moved. I don't really believe. I believe they will make excuses. There will be a hardcore base that makes excuses for that man until forever, until they die. Nothing's going to change that. Now, it'll probably, change the tenor of his administration, and there will be pressure on him, right? Because a certain portion of the base will turn on him and anything associated with him. So the people who are really, really standing up for him right now might be in a little bit of, karmic trouble too, I guess. I don't know. It remains to be seen. But yeah, I mean, I think I just want to see him taken down for the victims so that they get justice, and for the roles that he's played, because it sounds like his role was significant. And God knows what Bill Barr did when Epstein was in prison, all that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. See, here's the thing, Karen. I'm very suspect about this meeting between Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, what guarantees do we have that anything is on the record in that meeting? I don't have any guarantee. Is going hard for him. We don't need to view it just them. Yeah. Putin's already seen it. Yeah. We should be thinking about if something comes out, though, then what? Yeah, no, that's actually an interesting conversation, Jen, to have, right? Oh, Trump said Obama used AI. Oh, so there's video, so he knows our video. Yeah, I mean, it actually, it's a very good question about what's, messaging kind of thing, around that. And I don't know. I'm just kind of sitting back and going, oh, I hope we don't really take advantage of people's the crimes against them. But I don't have any control over that. Those are the things I think about too. Yeah. It could wake up the soccer moms. Ignore. Oh, that I think you're right. No, I think there's definitely a part of his base that really says nope, that's it. This was the story because, as you remember, this really has been the story that was the big story. And they really sold this Epstein, the pedophiles and get all the pedophiles and get all the pedophiles. And we're the only ones protecting children and we're the best ones. And we love kids the most, blah, 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 blah. So they pushed that. That was really core to their narrative, really fucking core to their narrative. And they can't back off of it now. They cannot back off. So they've kind of gotten over their skis a little bit around the whole pedophile issue because they kind of oversold that because they wanted to ignore the fact that their guy, the figurehead, actually is a pedophile, allegedly. Yeah, Hulk Hogan died. Frankly, good riddance. Who cares? I don't care. What a dick. Puppet of Peter Thiel too. Peter Thiel paid for his defense or his case against Gawker because Gawker printed a story that said Peter Thiel was gay, which no one should ever be outed without consent. But I guess that he had already to some degree been outed in his own Silicon Valley community or whatever. But the bottom line is I don't agree with outing anyone, but I also don't agree in using your wealth to completely crush a media outlet, even if I wasn't really a Gawker reader, but whatever. Yeah, so this is the thing. They've oversold the pedophile story, and now because they seem to ignore the fact that there's far more reporting on Republican or conservative pedophiles than there is on Democrats. I'm sorry, that's just by the numbers. You all have the most pedophiles. sorry about that, but that's just the way it seems to fall out. I don't control the news. Yeah, and that's right. They used Q and da 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 da. And now Mike Flynn, Mike Flynn is kind of like, you've got to release these files and da 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 da. At least that's what he was last week. I don't know what he is this week. We'd have to see, but yeah. So I don't know. This is really interesting. It is really interesting. Yeah. Well, there you go. Okay. The full extent of the damage isn't yet clear. No shit. But Russia is on our side with Trump now. Yeah, so that changes everything. I know. Oh, so weird. The flaws apply to SharePoint customers who manage the software on their own networks as opposed to on the cloud. Oopsie. Microsoft, in a blog post Tuesday, identified two groups supported by the Chinese government, Linen Typhoon and Violet Typhoon, as leveraging flaws in the SharePoint software. So those are the groups. Another hacking group based in China, which Microsoft calls Storm 2603, also exploited the SharePoint vulnerabilities, according to the blog. Okay, well, that's it. Well, that's interesting. Want to keep an eye on that. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Let me see what else I have for us. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. That's a one. I thought there was. I want to make sure. Oh, speaking of pedophiles in the Republican Party, just so we're on the record, so to speak, even though it's Yahoo News. Forgive me for Yahoo News, but I have MAGAs following me for my pedophile comments. I usually block them, but not now. I gave up. Daily Cause has a long list. Oh yes, that's right. They keep a list. That's right. Okay, well this one is story just came across my transom one day. Hold on. Hey, wait a minute. What happened to my story? Hey, wait a minute. What happened? What'd you do? Don't do that. Oh, there we go. All right. Trump's former religious advisor charged with child sex crimes. This is March 12th. Okay, so this is a little old story. But let's read what it is. A former Texas megachurch pastor and spiritual advisor to Donald Trump was indicted Wednesday in Oklahoma for alleged child sex crimes. Robert Morris faces 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts to a child, with the alleged crimes dating back to December 1982, according to a press release from the state attorney general's office. I'm not going to read it. Morris resigned from Gateway Church. That's right. I remember this one. Last year, after a woman named Cindy Clemshire claimed he had sexually assaulted her multiple times when she was a child. After Clemshire came forward, Morris made a confession of sorts 2 days before his resignation, telling the Christian Post that he had engaged in, quote, inappropriate sexual behavior with a, quote, young lady. It was kissing and petting and not intercourse, but it was wrong, he said. That's his quote. In 2005, Morris attempted to keep Clemshire quiet about the alleged assault. Oops. According to a phone call transcript obtained last year by NBC News. NBC also reported that in 2007, a lawyer for Morris blamed Clemshire for the alleged abuse. Oh boy. Which Clemshire says occurred more than 100 times over 4.5 years. Clemshire told the Texas Tribune through a lawyer on Wednesday that Morris needs to be held accountable. After almost 43 years, the law has finally caught up with Robert Morris for the horrific crimes he committed against me as a child, Clemshire said. Now it is time for the legal system to hold him accountable. My family and I are deeply grateful to the authorities who have worked tirelessly to make this day possible and remain hopeful that justice will ultimately prevail. So, let's if you're going to talk about pedophiles, you're going to have to talk about all the Republicans. All of them. All of them. Let me see. Let me just pick up on a couple of things. Oh, I think it's. Oh, I would like to read this. I know this is not related to what we're talking about at all, but this came too across the transom yesterday. This congressman wants to ban companies from using your search history to set personalized prices. What the hell is personalized prices? Yes, butterflies. I did hear that. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is set to be released, but there is a prohibition against DHS deporting him. I think that came out last night, but I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. Yeah, look how long the FBI let Nasser go on. Exactly. Let's talk about Chris Wray. Oh, they did? They let out prisoners in Russia to fight the war? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Democratic Rep Greg Kasar is introducing legislation to ban surveillance pricing, whereby companies use personal data to charge consumers different prices for the same products. What? From raising the price of diapers for parents who recently searched for them online to stores excluding regular customers from discounts because they are likely to buy the product anyway, companies are using personal data to set different price points for different people. The practice, known as surveillance pricing, I did not realize this. This is crazy. Oh, he had to go back into custody? Oh, okay. I'll have to catch up on that. Has caught the attention of Rep. Greg Kasar, a Democrat from Texas, who wants to ban it at the federal level. Personal data collection has become commonplace in the internet age, with major corporations farming information to tailor marketing and sales pitches specifically to individual customers. But companies are now using location data, browsing history, and demographic background to individualize prices. Oh, so they couldn't start processing. Okay. Oh, boy. God, this country is so evil. Kasar believes this practice, which is often done using artificial intelligence, could stack the deck against consumers, leading to higher, uneven prices. The lawmaker who leads the Congressional Progressive Caucus told NBC News he wants to ensure that prices are set based on supply and demand and based on how much it costs to make and sell a thing, not based on spying on you and using your private data. The Stop AI Price Gouging and Wage Fixing Act of 2025, which KSAR will introduce on Wednesday, I guess that was yesterday, would prohibit the use of surveillance-based price and wage setting. The bill comes on the heels of a study by the Federal Trade Commission and as some states seek to ban surveillance pricing as well. KSAR said there needs to be more transparency around the use of consumers' data and artificial intelligence. His bill would also prevent the use of AI to set wages based on personal data like an individual's financial history rather than performance. AI is a developing part of our lives, part of our world, but we need to make sure that it's used for good and not being exploited, he said. We're already starting to see that, and if we don't intervene now and ban these sorts of price gouging and wage suppression right now, then I think it's just going to spread all over the economy. KSAR's legislation comes after the Federal Trade Commission released the initial findings of its study of surveillance pricing in January. That report, released just before President Joe Biden left office, found that a person's precise location or browser history can be frequently used to target individual consumers with different prices for the same goods and services. The FTC's findings are based on information it requested from 8 companies that use consumer data when pricing products: MasterCard, Revionics, Bloomreach, JP Morgan Chase, Task Software Pros, Accenture, and McKinsey and Company. Lena Khan, who chaired the FTC under Biden, oversaw the study. It's unclear what the future of the FTC's role will be on this issue under the Dump administration. Could we guess? As the agency's call for public input on surveillance pricing was stopped when new leadership came in. One of the most pernicious aspects of surveillance pricing is that people may have absolutely no idea that they're being targeted by it, Khan said in an interview with NBC News. It's a total black box. Khan said, I'm sure you're right, wait. Khan said that the technology is rapidly evolving, making it easier for companies to forecast how much a consumer is able or willing to pay without them knowing. Khan described surveillance pricing as the holy grail for companies looking to maximize profits in e-commerce. I know, I am struggling. Yeah, they want you to sign up for rewards packages and download their app. I know, it's the apps, right? Max always says that. Don't download the apps. Do it in your browser. KSAR noted that Delta Airlines is one company that is integrating AI into its pricing. On an investor call this month, Delta President Glenn Howenstein said the airline's goal is to have a fifth of all its fares set by artificial intelligence program, up from 3% currently. But the company disputed in a statement that prices would be set based on personal information. Quote, "There is no fare product Delta has ever used, is testing, or plans to use that targets customers with individualized offers based on personal information or otherwise," the company said. Delta always complies with regulations around pricing and disclosures until they're all shit-canned. Wait, lyrics? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just a little too high. Oh, thank you. Good. Okay. I'm like, whisper. I'm whispering. I'm hoping I'm whispering. La 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 la. While KSAR's legislation is the first at the national level, several state legislatures have attempted to take on the issue. For example, the New York legislature passed and the governor signed legislation to require companies to disclose to consumers when a price is set by an algorithm using their data. Earlier this month, the National Retail Federation asked a federal court to block the New York law, arguing that it would unfairly malign a system that helps merchants give customers lower prices and personalized offers. Eh. The California Assembly, meanwhile, passed a bill in May to stop businesses from using personal data when charging different prices for the same product. That legislation now heads to the California Senate. At the federal level, the House of Representatives is leaving for its August recess this week. That's right. Mikey's little Johnson said, get out of town. So no action could be taken on KSAR's bill until September at the earliest. The congressman said he hopes to build a broad coalition of members of Congress against this because I think this is the kind of issue that energizes people all across the country. KSAR sees a surveillance price ban as an issue that could attract bipartisan support. I think that's the kind of thing that pisses off Democratic and Republican and independent voters alike. He said, "You don't have to be a progressive Democrat to say these gigantic corporations in the tech world should not be spying on us and then using what they learn to put into AI and make our life more expensive." That sounds reasonable. That's reasonable, sir. Let me see what else I had if anything was really great. Was really great. Nope, I think I did it. I think I covered most of it. I thought I had this one. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on to your love. You gotta hold on. Hold on to your love. No, I think that's it. Okay, that's it. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a second. I do want to read this one last thing. I'm sorry. I lied. I have one more thing. One more thing. This is Steve Vladek's Substack too. Sometimes Substacks are good. I don't pay Steve. I only pay Paul Krugman and D. I just signed up to subscribe to D's. I always use rewards, and I'm a terrible person. I basically nobody really they know everything about me. Everybody knows everything about me. Thank you. That's my boyfriend. No, I'm just kidding. No, I know I totally agree, Tom. No, the more data you're giving people, the it's not good. But for me, the horse left the barn, and I feel like it just is what it is. So yes, I wanted to read this. This is about the Alina Habba situation. Okay, Alina Habba, remember her? Wait, I have a picture of her. Hold on. Wait, we need my Alina Habba picture. Hold on. We can't go. I don't know what I called her though. Did I call her Habba? I hope I did. Sometimes I name things weird and then I'm like, what the fuck did I name that? When what I should do is just give it the goddamn name that it has. Wait, do I not have a Habba one? What? Okay, well, I can't find it now. I'll have to find that later. But anyways, this is from yesterday too. A quick primer on the overlapping authorities for appointing and removing U.S. attorneys and the chaos unfolding in the New York and New Jersey as the Trump administration tries to bypass the Senate. Oopsie. Oh, that's a good idea, Max. That's pretty cool. Welcome back to the weekly bonus content for One First. Although Monday's regular newsletter, okay, blah 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 blah. Oh, did you? Are you going to charge me? Oh, I must have. Claim my free post. Claim my free post. Oh, okay. I'm claiming it. No, don't. Get the free Substack. What? Just send link. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, let me start reading it and then I'll go to the app and do that. Okay, welcome back. Although the Supreme Court made news earlier today with its latest grant of emergency relief to the Trump administration, clearing the way for removal of members for the Consumer Product Safety Commission, I thought I'd use this week's bonus issue to tackle a broader subject that's recently been in the news in both the Northern District of New York and the District of New Jersey, the appointment and removal of U.S. attorneys. In particular, with the Trump administration seemingly intent on using, and in some respects abusing, the relevant authorities to install lawyers who apparently can't get confirmed by even this Senate, it seems worth laying out exactly how U.S. attorneys can be and have been both appointed and removed. To make a long story short, although the details matter, the bottom line is that there's a meaningful difference between what happened in Albany and what's happening in New Jersey. Not in the entirely appropriate behavior of the district courts in both cases, but in both the Attorney General's inappropriate effort to fire the court-appointed prosecutor in New Jersey and the transparent attempt in the New Jersey case to end run the already weak limits of the Federal Vacancies Reform Act to install unconfirmable individuals as lead local federal prosecutors. Speaking of which, the Bobbsey twins. Okay, so let me go to my email and I will BRB with the T. BRB with the T. I just have to get into my email. Yeah. There we go. Oh, no, that's not what I want. What? Wait, what? What? Oh, are you kidding me right now? I'm so sad. I'm sad. You have to download the app. No. No. What's going on here? Oh my God. Sorry. Okay. Wow, that could have been smoother. Na, 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 na. Yeah, 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 yeah. Are you gonna let me read it? Are you gonna let me read it? Are you gonna let me read it? You gonna let me read it? I did. Oh my God. Okay, I'm not gonna make you go through this. All right. Well, actually, here's what I want to do. I'm gonna end for now, but I think I might do. This is probably a terrible idea, but I think I might do like a Sunday brunch, like a reading morning, like just to catch up because there's a bunch of stories that I'd like to like get through, but there's never enough time. And I'll in the meantime I can figure out how to get into Steve Vladek's private posts. You have a call to make. Uh-oh. But I just wonder, would you guys ever be interested in kind of like Sunday brunch kind of thing? Oh, she's in Tallahassee at the federal courthouse. Oh, wow. Ooh, thanks, Lee, for that update. I don't know. I don't want to overcrowd my schedule and your schedule, frankly. But I just wonder if I feel like if we had a more relaxed kind of thing. Oh, Paul J, that sounds great. Yeah, I just wonder if a Sunday morning kind of just chill, reading and kind of digging deep on some stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure I could even do it, but I'm going to think about that because I keep thinking about wanting to do something like that and then I just never do it. But yeah, tell them you have a lot of people that love you, Paul. Don't forget us. Anyway, I'm sorry about the Vladik thing not working. That's a real fucking bummer. Damn it. Damn paywalls. Damn paywalls. Razzle frack 'em. Uh-oh, let's get rid of Foghorn too. Anyway. I would watch on the replay for sure. Cool. That's great. Sunday mornings, Patty. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. Maybe Saturday. I don't know. I got to think. I got to think about that. I don't know. Let me think about that. He knows about. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I miss Fridays too. Although I love the movie. Oh, you miss Friday mornings? I know. You know what? I kind of do too. I'm going to think about it. Oh, which means you'd be free to watch. Oh, okay. You miss Fridays? I kind of miss Fridays too. I'm not going to lie. I miss Fridays too. Okay. I got to think about it. I got to think about what I can do. If Bobo goes overseas, though, if she goes, like when she's gone, I'm going to be so fucking bored, you guys. I'm going to be so fucking bored. I'm going to be even more FOMO of not doing a Friday. So we're probably going to have too much. when she's not here to distract me and have fun. Damn. All right. Well, that's it for this morning, though. That's for sure. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning. I don't know. Oh, I know. I feel like I'm not lonely. I'm not gonna be lonely because I have everybody's hanging out. They're at the courthouse now. Not the federal prison. That should tell you something. Oh, does that mean? Yeah. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Teresa, does that mean that they're making a deal with her? Is that what that means? That they're at the courthouse and not the prison? Does that mean there's some kind of judge's order thing coming? I'm lonely. Yeah, me too, Badge. Lonely too. I am lonely. I love you guys. All right. I love you guys. I will okay, great. Tom, thank you so much for that referral. I really appreciate your help on that. I'm still looking for the Lolo compound, folks. Don't worry, it's coming soon. Then you're all invited. Not the mean people, but just the people here. Just the people I like. My internet addiction went way up after I quit smoking. Really? All right. I love you all too, Meowing Star. Thank you so much for coming. Carrie, thank you for the incredible donation earlier. Again, much appreciated. Never necessary, but so appreciated and goes right back into the show. Thanks again. I will see you as soon as I can see you. If not, there is a movie tomorrow night. There's 2 movies coming up for tomorrow night. So watch my socials for the announcements of the Friday night movies, the Fuck It All Fridays in the Discord. Make sure you follow our Discord. And yeah, that's about it. All right. I do. Oh, I am totally an addictive personality. I mean, that's another show, but yeah, 100%. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you at the movies. And I'll also see you on Saturday for trivia because trivia is back, baby. Back with a vengeance. So don't miss trivia on Saturday night either. Okay? All right. I'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful Thursday. You're almost there to the weekend if this is your weekend coming up. Hang in there.